car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at some morning delays right now in the Orlando area for those who need to travel east and westbound on the interstate this morning by the major attractions exits. Right now, things are up to speed for those who need to travel on the Beach Line and on the Greenway. No major delays to report north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Listen to Real Radio in your smart home. Just tell Alexa to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Now that we have AT&T Fiber Internet in our home, our connection's so fast it can handle streaming, gaming, surfing, and video conferencing for the whole family. The only downside? Our kids' friends are coming over way more often than we'd like. Hey, Jaden, Braden, Zayden, come on in, you guys. Luke, what's up, buddy? How's baseball going? I've got the game streaming in the den. Maybe you can pick up some pointers before we take on Kennedy next week. Ashley A, Ashley D, Ashley P, is this for a group project again? Because last time it looked a lot like high-speed reality TV research. Hey, Kristen! You got the ring light and the tripod this time. Don't forget to tag the house with the fastest internet. Honey, it's going to be another late one. We're going to need more snacks.
Tell all your neighbors, AT&T Fiber has arrived. Hyper-fast internet is now available in your neighborhood. Learn more at att.com/internet. Limited availability in select areas.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, just give us a call at 407-606-6000.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Summer's over and the kids are back in school, but let's be honest, the house kind of looks like summer's still happening, right? I trust Zero Res to clean it all up. Into my house, they do a great job. No harsh soap, no sticky residue, just a home that's fresh and clean with Zero Res. And it's safe for your family and your pets. Mention me right now, and you're going to get $25 off your carpet cleaning, $50 off your tile and grout, or $100 off your air duct cleaning. That's Zero Res. Give them a call at 407-232-9188. Book online. That's Zero Res. Spell forwards or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
ZEROREZ, Zero Res.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Wednesday, August 26th, 2026. Lots to get to today. From here comes Hurricane Dolly to absolutely shocking flash floods hitting Nepal and closing arguments in the Lindsay Clancy trial. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Good day.
Josh is with us.
Hello.
And so are you. You can join us on the show. Go on over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Not bad. Yeah. How about you?
Let's try not to kill off any legends today, if we can avoid that during the show. You know what I mean?
Work on it.
Oh, my God. Robert De Niro died?
No! Don't do that to us during the show today.
All right. Siri, set a reminder for 1:50. Junkie time.
I'll probably not forget that moment when I could hear, after the delay hit, when I could hear the shriek of Courtney inside the house. I was like, oh, we don't get those that often. An actual audible reaction from things there. So we'll get into a lot of the reactions.
Really? I thought she made that same reaction when you get naked. Just
no! How dare you? How dare you? We'll get into some of the reactions in the wake of Dolly Parton's death. Now we know how she died and why. We know a lot more. There's been some amazing tributes. There's been some backlash. A lot of things to go over. Yeah, believe it or not, a little bit of the backlash. We'll talk about it right now.
Who's trying to be cool? Who's trying to be cool today?
I'll hold your horses. I'll get you there. We'll get you there bit by bit. Right now, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happened in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Buckingham Palace, everybody, where after learning of the death of legendary musician and all-around amazing person, Dolly Parton, they decided to bring out the bobby head guys. What are they called? The Royal Guard or something? Beefeaters. The Beefeaters? They brought them out. The guys with the big fuzzy things?
After?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're learning something today. These are the guys who are at the Royal Palace, and they guard it with those big, stupid hats, but some of them also play instruments. Here is what they did. These guys are pretty good, right?
They better be.
I think they get killed if they don't.
You have to swim the channel.
You know, I do wonder, England has a real problem. England, we have to address this problem very quickly here. You don't have to do things. I say this all the time on the show, behind the scenes. When we're having meetings or when we're doing stuff, I go, we do not have to do things simply because we have already done things. Right? Like sometimes things have run their course. Right. Sometimes we don't need to do an event anymore. So we don't need to just keep doing it because we did it to begin with. England is so bad at this. Like, why are these idiots wearing these stupid outfits still? It's 2026.
Tradition.
Can we not refine the hats, the silly outfits? These guys in the heat of summer in London, they don't have any air conditioner over there. They're falling out. They're dropping like flies.
So when they take that outfit on, or when they take that outfit off, they're just as hot as when they put it on.
Probably. Yeah.
That would have been such a better sentence if I had not screwed it up so bad.
And they take that outfit on. Ruined it right from the jump.
Yep.
This, and also the stupid thing that they do. Have you seen the barristers, their attorneys over there, the lawyers?
Yes.
Like if Mo was in, our friend Mo, the attorney, if he was in England, he would have to wear one of those stupid wigs.
And a gown.
And a gown. And you just look like we don't have to do this stuff just because we've always done it. But the jams are good, right? Bona fide vibes. I can get behind it. I mean, it would be epic if there was one guy who missed a note and then just somebody from the crow's nest just takes him out. His bobby hits the ground, and then they just continue on. All right, nobody else. It would be like Courtney and I just watched a movie the other night, and when I was watching this, all I could think of was Sea Lane during this movie.
Aww.
Not in a great way.
Okay, well, all right.
Well, not in a bad way either, really. Not necessarily in a bad way.
In a way.
In a way, yes.
In a world.
Yeah, just like that. And I'm sure you've seen this. Have you seen that movie about the jazz drummer?
Whiplash?
Have you seen that? Whiplash, yes. Oh, Josh has seen it maybe, huh?
No, I just know what it is.
Oh, okay. All right. It's a famous movie about a jazz drummer guy called Whiplash. And it's got you'll know the drum instructor guy. He's in a lot of stuff.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, yeah, he's in that. And the whole thing is about he's this merciless, aggressive, intense band leader, and he screams at the drummers when they're trying to get good at playing the drums. And I was like, oh, Sea-Lane, Sea-Lane could play the drums a little bit. I always remember your drunken drum playing.
Yeah.
And
used to do it sober,
too. And Sea-Lane was in school band and stuff. Mm. And I said, I never got the vibes before watching this movie Whiplash that it would be that intense.
Oh, that we would have people yell at us like that?
Yeah. Like,
sure.
What are you doing?
It happened for sure.
Like the Bobbies would be playing 9 to 5 in front of the Palace in London, and then one of them would be like, what are you doing? Whoa, holy cow, okay. Jesus, too much, too far, too fast. But there they go, outside of the Palace. We have so many different clips, some really banger stuff to get into on the Dolly Parton front.
Damn, Paul Reiser was in Whiplash. What does that guy do anymore?
Oh, yeah. Paul Reiser was his dad. He was the drummer guy's dad. In that movie, and it was good. It was a good movie.
I still remember when they gave him like a sitcom that lasted like 2 episodes before they pulled it. They had the Paul Reiser show, and they didn't even give it a chance. It was unfair to Paul, but
he's a likable guy. I think he really was. Yeah, but Whiplash, go see that movie. That's tied into the Drummers, which is tied into Dolly Parton, which is now tied into Hurricane Dolly, potentially headed for the United States of America, which would be so bizarre. And I don't know, maybe this has happened, but is there a time we could think about where somebody of note and importance has died, and then almost immediately after a hurricane with that person's name?
That's so specific.
There's no way. Like, has that ever happened where somebody dies, and then right afterwards, whoosh, a hurricane whips up and starts heading from the United States or for the United States with that same person's name? Well, the fact of the matter is we are on letter B, or D, rather. We've had Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, and now Dolly is the next hurricane. And there are storms out there churning around in the Atlantic, which very well could be in the next 24 to 48 hours up to a tropical storm, potentially even on the way to developing into a hurricane at some point. And it would be Hurricane Dolly, which is so freaking bizarre. Like, what are the chances of that happening?
Oh, wow. The chick that sang Walking on Sunshine died in July of 2005. That's weird.
What's that, Belinda? Was there a hurricane?
Katrina and the Waves.
It's not true. That's not true.
She's still alive.
It must have happened at some point in time, but it probably doesn't
not
stick
that
with
famous,
us like
but
this.
Still alive.
This wave that people are keeping an eye on that could be Hurricane Dolly has a 70% chance of becoming a tropical storm. Then from there, we'll see what happens with the development. People are already memeing the hell out of it, as you can imagine. But there it is out there in the Atlantic. We're looking at it over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. YouTube chat not working today, but I don't think that's a us problem. I think that's a larger problem because it's not working on Restream either. But we'll see. We'll dig in. But the storm is developing and headed towards, in the next couple of days, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and that area. Then possibly all of the different little models that I'm looking at, all of them appear to be headed up the East Coast. So this could be maybe the first Florida hurricane. I know this is a long ways away, but it could be the first Florida hurricane of 2026, and it would be Hurricane Dolly right after Dolly Parton's death. And yeah, of course, as I said, meme crazy out there.
I was just about to make fun of you for this because I was checking the YouTube channel and saw that this was the thumbnail for the show today, and I was like, Sean, did you really make a thumbnail with two big hurricanes that are supposed to look like boobies?
No, they're not supposed to look like boobs. I
think they're supposed to look like boobs.
Oh, now I see.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. So the hurricanes are smashed together in what looks like breasts on account of Dolly Parton. I don't think she'd mind. She made a lot of money off those things.
Sure.
Good for her. Yeah. Okay, a couple of emails to get us started here, but keep an eye on that. Invest 96L is the main storm that could develop into Hurricane Dolly. There's some other ones out there, but of course, as you can imagine, way before anything gets to the United States of America, we will talk about how it's going to impact you. Jimmy emails the show. Jimmy says, a man has called off his wedding because his fiance supports Lindsay Clancy. Hey, Sean, I'm a day behind, so I don't know if you talked about this on the show this week. I know you've all talked about whether a woman supporting Lindsay Clancy should be a concern about raising children. I will say I 100% agree with this guy. Enjoy your day, says Jimmy. Let me see if I can pull up the link that he sends along with this. Is somebody's like Facebook post? I don't know if this is even real. There's so much fake news around this stuff. A man who is set to get married in 2 weeks sent a group message to his family and his fiance's family saying he's canceling the wedding. The reason his fiance told him on Friday that she supports Lindsay Clancy. Just for the record, I don't even know what that means. You know what? Oh, there goes YouTube. It's back in. I don't even know what that means. When you say my fiance supports Lindsay Clancy, supports her how? The people that I'm worried about are the people who are like, the father secretly killed her, the Gemini bloodthirsty father.
This whole, like, what? It's so non-binary where you could be in your opinion of this case. It's like, well, you support Lindsay Clancy, like you support a verdict of not guilty based on insanity. That's fine. You support Lindsay Clancy because you think that her husband did it. That's a little crazy. She has already said that she did it.
That might be even divorce worthy for some people. It's a little wild.
Or like you support Lindsay Clancy in this weird way where you think like, I'm just as messed up. I am Lindsay Clancy.
Yeah, that's even weirder. That's like, should your kids be taken away immediately?
Like, should you say, like, I'm Charlie Manson? You know, I identify with him.
Helter Skelter.
It's. I didn't know you had such a great Charlie Manson.
Oh, thank you, Sean. I'm a big fan.
Okay, see, he shouldn't say that.
You know what's funny? I haven't heard Charles Manson talk enough to know whether or not that sounds like.
I'm just taking his word for it.
Just believe me.
I think it does. I think that sounds like Charles Manson. So I don't know what that means. She supports Lindsay Clancy. If you support the fact that some people are not guilty by reason of insanity, that's one thing. I can make sense of that. If you support this woman, if you're out there cheering her on, you know, yeah, Lindsay Clancy, then I don't get that, and I think you're crazy. I think you have mental illness, and I think you probably shouldn't be too close to kids. You know, I worry about that. But it's just so, you know, it's nebulous. I don't know exactly what it means when you say that. So some of this stuff is probably fake. But thank you for the email nonetheless. Appreciate it, Jimmy, with the email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Alicia says, have you seen this reporter that was in the courtroom? What a weird time to be alive. Alicia says at the Clancy trial. I did see this lady. She's really weird. And she made like this weird smile thing. I think I have the footage here first. This is the footage of her in the courtroom. And I have her reaction to this, which we'll play later in the show. But here she is. So they're going by all of these people. There's so many women in the courtroom. I don't know if these are all. Some of them have laptops, so I guess they're journalists. And then they go over here, and there's one woman. Ready?
All right.
And she's
poses for pictures that aren't being taken. Yeah,
she's smiling and winking, and she's she has an excuse for why she's done this, and she's made a response video that I think is one of the dumbest things I've seen in a while. We will get to that on the show. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. So stand by for that, Alicia. It's on the way. And P emails the show to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hello, Mr. Wasson. Sorry to bother you. I just wanted to check to see if the Starry Night magnets went out. I know I did a subscription to get it, but I haven't received it yet. Wasn't sure if they were on the way. Those will be on the way this week into this weekend. Those are all getting packed up and shipped out if you were a subscriber or gifter in that period of time when we had the Starry Night version of the News Junkie magnets. So that I appreciate your patience, everybody. I was waiting because the magnet place actually ran out. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. The Starry Night ones already went out. I'm talking about the newer the ones that are like the OG ones. Those are all going out this week. If you didn't get a Starry Night one, it may have been sent back, or there were 4 or 5 orders that I sent out yesterday. My apologies. There were 4 or 5 orders that I sent out yesterday that were bigger orders. But if you don't get one this week, just email me and we'll see what we can do, okay? All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into it. I got a big, fat rundown of all the juicy reactions and drama and everything that's happened in the wake of this Dolly Parton
You are
death.
just going to burn the hot sheet, aren't you?
I am probably. Yeah, because I've got some killer stuff. Maybe I missed some of it. Then we'll get into what's happening in Nepal. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you seen the Nepal footage? Oh, my God. Come over to YouTube today. Make today the day you go to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. We are going to get into this at some point. Guys, just take a look at this so you know what we're going to get into. A massive flood has hit Nepal, leaving dozens dead and many more missing. And the footage of this, first you see people just kind of running away. You see people getting in their cars. And this was all because they live within the mountains, and this flash flooding was ripping through. Now, here we go. Everybody's running away. I'll put this up on See It Now so you can see the visual. And in a moment, the reason for all that panic and running will become absolutely clear to anybody at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. It is like a mud tsunami that is like nothing I have ever seen in my entire life.
This is what, like, when I was a kid in school and learning about the Bible and, like, Noah's Ark and stuff, that's what I thought flooding was. I didn't think it was, like, a really bad storm that just never stopped and the water level rose and now you have to, buy a whole lot more stuff because all your stuff is waterlogged. Like, I thought this was flooding.
Biblical.
If you saw this in a movie, you'd go, tone it down. Tone it down. Yeah, nobody's going to believe that this was a real issue. The flooding wasn't that bad. Oh, boy, was it. And we'll get to what happened in Nepal a little further into the show today. Big show, lots of good stuff, lots of drama on the way. Stand by, don't miss a moment. More of your dispatches and everything else is coming up next on the News Junkie.
No bots, no scripts, no, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. Just actual flawed people. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
Looking at some morning delays right now in the Orlando area for those who need to travel east and westbound on the interstate this morning by the major attractions exits. Right now, things are up to speed for those who need to travel on the Beach Line and on the Greenway. No major delays to report north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome behind the scenes. A massive, massive rundown of all the Dolly Parton reactions, drama, tributes, some really great jokes, some funny reactions, some people trying to make it political that'll make your blood boil a little bit. All of that is on the way in the big Dolly Parton rundown. How about that footage from Nepal, right? You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till we get to that, because that's coming up in the first hour today as well. We are loaded up and ready to go. Show some love by signing up for a premium subscription. We got one person on the board today with our goal of 25. One person on the board today. You can subscribe to a premium subscription over at thenewsjunkie.com, Or if you're already a subscriber, you can gift some subscriptions to other people. Pick up some great swag. Like this. You get points. You get 1 for subscribing or as many for gifting as gifts you give. So 5 can get you this. The tote. I'm not going to wear it again like I did yesterday, but you get the point. Go do that over at thenewsjunkie.com. And last order of business, go get your predictions in. We are the first radio show, live stream, podcast, anything like that, to do a lot of things. And in this case, we're going to be the first to lock in how accurate you are with your predictions. So we can have data on, hey, are you actually worth listening to with your take on this? Eventually, we can get more granular with specific topics and how good you are at predicting them, outcomes in all sorts of different fields, overall audience outcomes. But right now, the first one is predict the verdict of the Lindsay Clancy trial. Options: guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, or a mistrial/hung jury. Those are your options. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and get your prediction in now. Okay, couple of minutes and we're back live on the show. What do we think about this? I'm going to force some of you into this. What do you think about this? Do you agree with President Trump? I'm going to force you into this. Do you agree with President Trump? Trump has ordered the flags to be lowered to half staff for Dolly Parton. Even the haters are going to agree. I made you do it. Trump has ordered that the flags will be lowered to honor Dolly Parton following her death. At Parton's request, a small private service will be held for immediate family members. And this may mark the first time ever there was a tribute post from the Democratic Socialists, right? The DSA folks, the far left folks. There was a tribute post to Dolly Parton from the DSA people and a tribute post to Dolly Parton from Trump. Agreement from the left and the right on one person. Even Dan agrees. I told you. Probably the smartest thing he's done this week. Hey, broken clock and all that. All right, 90 seconds and we're back live. We did learn yesterday that the cause of death was a short battle with cancer for Dolly Parton. A short battle with cancer is what the family has said is what led to Dolly's death. Dolly Parton, I don't know how many of you know, but she was wearing a wig most of the time when she was doing any of her public appearances. However, I saw a photo of Dolly in her 70s at the beach, wet hair. She looked great. But I had to ask myself the question, I wondered what was under the wig. Is it possible that Dolly was still wearing the wig to the beach? I don't think a woman would wear a wig to the beach, right? I don't think anybody would wear a wig to the beach, would they? I don't know enough about that. She slept in full makeup? Is that true? Is that true? Miss Rachel says, absolutely no to the flag, no lowering. Miss Rachel, what's going on? What if it was a Palestinian kid? Miss Rachel, I don't want to tell you what you can do, Miss Rachel, all right? I don't want to tell you. We're coming back live on the show right now.
And now, all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a Jet touchdown. Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down
As we get closer to week 1. It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live, local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row.
Most viral newsroom with an email to tips, T-I-P-S, at thenewsjunkie.com. Mike on YouTube says, how do I gift subscriptions? Oh, it's easy. Hit that gift icon over on thenewsjunkie.com. For each one, you get a point. And with 1 point alone, you can get one of these magnets. The News Junkie Game of Magnets, the OG design is up there. We've got canvas tote bags, all sorts of exclusive merch that you can only get when you either subscribe and utilize that as your free gift, or when you gift subscriptions. So hit that gift icon on thenewsjunkie.com. Dolly Parton, R.I.P. Although we do have our first Dolly Parton hater in chat.
Oh, boy.
I was trying to pull everybody together because it's an amazing moment. It's a rare moment. Sort of like a post 9/11 moment where for the first time ever, people on the far left and the far right, you know, those political people, they are all pretty much in agreement that Dolly Parton was great. Mm-hmm. She was like the last beloved thing. But somebody in chat on YouTube was like, no, Trump should not be lowering the flags to half-staff for Dolly Parton. This is outrageous. You know, it shouldn't be happening. Should not lower the flags to half-staff for Dolly Parton. I'm like, what? Who cares? Why do you care? What are you talking about? If you're going to lower the flags for anybody, lower them for Dolly Parton, for God's sake.
My neighbor, or one of my neighbors, has had his flag at half staff since Charlie Kirk died almost a year ago. Yeah,
he's still got it.
He's really upset about it.
Is this Pallet Man or another individual?
No, different guy.
No, different guy. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with lowering the flags to half staff. I actually did a little switcheroo on them to make sure that everybody was on the same page. And I was like, do you agree with Trump? Here's what Trump has done. He's ordered the flags to be lowered to half staff. Because maybe there's somebody who hates Trump so much they're like, no, I cannot agree. You got to agree with him on this. She's great. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You lower the flag to half staff when somebody of significance dies. It's interesting. It's something that we do in the United States to show a little love and appreciation.
And they've done it, you know, if the person's argument was for, the half staff is restricted to government officials or military members, there's been plenty of people who the staff has been lowered for.
Yeah.
Or the flag has been lowered for. Charlie Kirk.
Even Charlie Kirk. And he wasn't in the military as far as I know.
Nancy Reagan, Billy Graham. Don't
say Nancy Reagan around Josh. You know how he gets.
Yeah, horny.
You know what it does to him.
I'm at half staff.
But and also just there's mass casualty events where like a bunch of people died and they're mostly civilians, and they do the flag for that. So I think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's bad.
Wow. I got to tell you, the difference between mass casualties and mass casualties is enormous. There is just a huge spread between the two. It's much nicer to talk about the mass ones. That seems better to me than a lot of people dying. But that's the things that we lower the flag for are death and also tribute, right? It's to pay tribute to somebody who was of importance. Like if C-Lane died, don't you think that they would bring the flags down to half staff and get them
locally? I think
lower?
at least my neighborhood.
How local? Your house? Yeah, just even Ashley, your wife, is like, nah, I can't be bothered to lower them to half staff. I'm not going to do.
I don't want to violate the flag code.
All right, here we go. Let's go into the rundown I have for you. I've got a lot, so maybe we'll split it in two. C-Lane's praying that if I do split it in two, some of it survives for the hot sheet.
It's fine. I will recover.
So yesterday, we'll start with this. We'll start with some of the tributes. Yesterday, there was a performance of the musical 9 to 5, which I believe is in England. I'm not positive, but I think it's in England. And before the performance of the 9 to 5 musical, the cast members took the stage and they made an announcement that Dolly Parton had died. And I don't know what time it was, but it's pretty wild to me that there were gasps, because I thought to myself, like, how disconnected is this son of a bitch that you go to the 9 to 5 performance of a musical that's about Dolly Parton and her movie and her song, and you still didn't know? You didn't know that Dolly Parton was dead yet? How much of a, passive fan are you? Or how much you don't have a phone? Or maybe it was just so early on that they had
it might have been
news.
A time difference. Like, what time is it in England right now?
7 hours, I think, off the East Coast. For those of us on the East Coast, I think there's 7 hours.
5 hours.
No. Oh, you're right. It takes 7 hours to fly there.
Yes.
They're 5 hours ahead. I think Josh is right. But here's what happened. Here we go.
Good evening. Before we begin tonight's performance of 9 to 5, we would like to take a moment to remember the remarkable Dolly Parton, who has sadly passed away today. 9 to 5 was originally written and produced by Dolly, whose extraordinary talent, creativity and spirit are woven into every part of this work. Tonight, we will perform the piece as she intended, with great respect and affection for the woman whose vision brought it to life.
There was one person that went, ooh. Like, what an evil, cartoonish villain are you in the audience of 9 to 5? You're like twisting your mustache.
So everybody...
She died, you say? Like
the news broke of her death around 2 p.m. Eastern yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It would have been around 8 p.m. in London, and it might have been right around the time that the show was starting.
A musical, would they take your phones?
Not necessarily, no.
No? Okay. So like you go to Broadway in New York City, they're not going to take your phones during a performance?
No, they usually take them for like comedy sets and stuff like that. They will tell you not to, like if they see you using your phone or trying to take pictures or video, usually they'll tell you to put it away. But I wonder if somebody didn't take this video either as a staff member of the troupe of the theater group, or there had to be a couple people in the audience that already knew.
I think it might have been the troupe, like you're saying, because it's pretty well framed and it's professional.
Our with Dolly's family, friends, and all those around the world who loved and admired her.
Is that Worthing Theaters?
So as we begin, we dedicate tonight's performance to Dolly Parton, with our deepest thanks for the music, laughter, and joy she gave us. Thank you, Dolly.
Worthing Theaters. Is it possible it's in Ireland?
Yeah,
she
possible.
Shut up!
I know.
I
saw it,
me?
dude. I saw it.
Are you kidding me?
It's
This is what C-Lane said was going to happen.
Actually real.
Are you kidding me? Tim Curry dead. We're just hearing. Hang on. Jesus.
Wow.
Tribute to one person interrupted for the death of another Rocky Horror star. I know him the best from Home Alone. I love you. Tim Curry was
him in Clue.
Phenomenal actor. It is just coming across that Rocky Horror star Tim Curry is dead at 80 years old. A tribute for one person in Hollywood, a legend, broken up by an announcement of another. But I don't think he's going to Michael Jackson or Farrah Fawcett, as it were. Dolly Parton here.
No, I think he might be getting Farrah Fawcetted.
Yeah, yes. He might be. Yeah, Rocky
slightly.
Horror star Tim Curry dead at 80 years old. Tim Curry, the legendary film and TV actor best known for playing Dr. Frankenfurter in the cult classic The Rocky Horror Picture Show, has died. He was plagued with serious health issues for more than a decade, passed away late Tuesday night at his Los Angeles home. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ police responded to his house around 11:23 p.m. on Tuesday night. No foul play is suspected in this case. Maybe it was the news about Dolly that tipped him over the edge, man. Tim got his start in Hollywood in the late 1960s before catching his big break in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Then he was in lots of stuff after that, like Annie, The Hunt for the Red October. This is legendary. Somebody posted on YouTube, it's Home Alone 2, but just the concierge. How long is
What's
it?
wrong? Stolen credit card?
Hold on a second.
5.5 minutes.
I'll call you back, Henri. Cedric?
Yes?
Don't count your chips in public.
Just the scenes with him.
And find out everything you can about that young fellow.
He's so good in that, man.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2, he really stole a lot of those scenes. He was from Stephen King's It. He was Pennywise. Now Pennywise is played by, what's his name?
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, yes, who does a fantastic job in the new It movies. But originally, it was Tim Curry because he was just kind of famous for that caricature of a smile that he had. That it seemed like it went up to his ears, man. Like Tim Curry's smile was just this huge across his face. It looked fake. Also from Addams Family Reunion, Scary Movie 2. While always an active performer, Tim Curry, both in his film roles and on stage as a theater actor.
Can't believe they're leaving out Clue. Clue was so good.
Was he in Clue?
Yeah, he was the butler, I think.
Health issues slowed Tim down in recent years. He suffered a massive stroke in 2012, which required brain surgery. Last year, around the time he released his memoir, Vagabond, he stated he was unable to walk. This is him in 2025, I think, right here.
How you doing, Mr. Curry?
Good, thank you.
Have you seen the new It yet?
I have.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Really? Did you like what the new guy
Alexander
did?
Skarsgård, I thought I really
Was it
liked
Alexander?
him. So I thought he was very good.
There's too many Skarsgårds.
Yeah, there's like a whole family of Skarsgård, and they're all actors, or like a bunch of them are.
Any more
That
of
was
them,
him
and
a year ago.
you could put them all in front of Buckingham Palace, the entire Skarsgård. And
how could you do this?
And then they could get their instruments out and play that Rocky Horror song.
Yeah.
The time
They could, yeah. Let's do the time warp again. Tim was 80 years old. Look at that. In the middle of a tribute. How could you do this to us? See, I literally made a joke about this.
Somebody's going to be out in front of Buckingham today like, well,
Come on, Tim Curry. Man, Tim Curry dead at 80 years old. Interrupting in the least rude way possible our tribute to Dolly Parton and our rundown on her.
So if we're playing the game of threes, does the third one have to be 80?
It would look like that would make a very solid 3 if that was the case, because Dolly Parton was indeed 80 years old. Tim Curry, 80 years old. 80-year-olds across the country standing
Bracing
there,
for impact,
waiting for Final Destination status here. Just stand by. I don't know what else is going to happen today, but we'll come back. I've got more of the reactions to the death of Dolly Parton.
That totally ruined your Dahlia rundown.
No, I'm going to keep that rundown going. I'm not saving this for the hot sheet. I didn't even get a third of the way in. I got some good stuff and some funny stuff.
Like 2 stories in.
I know. I got some drama on the way. Nobody else die, please, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. It's like Thanksgiving awkwardness 5 days a week. The Jim Colbert Show.
Oh, my God. Don't even type about Ed O'Neill right now. Don't even type Ed O'Neill's name or the fact that he's 80. Don't do it. I don't want to hear it. Tim Curry, breaking news, dead at 80 years old. My God. Isn't Sean 80? Obi-Wan Kenobi says on the studio screen. No. AJ Soup, don't start naming people who are 80 like Cher. We're going to get through the rest of the show with no legends dying. All right? We're not doing it. YouTube, hello. Twitch, hello. TNJ chat, hello. Welcome in, folks. We've got a lot to discuss today. Many, many things to discuss. Here's a take on the Lindsay Clancy case, which we'll get into more in depth a little later on in the show. I got to tell you a quick note. I was opened up a bit more to the Lindsay Clancy case yesterday. When I was on my walk, some people listened to like the Rocky theme song or some Eminem, and I was listening to the opening statements in the case. And I listened to the defense's opening statement, Lindsay Clancy's attorneys and their opening statement, and the prosecution, their opening statements as well. They give you a brief overview of their arguments, and they sort of give you a feel of the delivery of the attorneys, which is very important. A couple of things that caught my attention were there are 18 people on the jury. Sounds like a lot, right? The Lindsay Clancy trial, 18 jurors are seated in this case in the courtroom right now and have been hearing about this unbelievably graphic testimony for 4 weeks now. All right? 18 jurors, 12 of the 18 are women. All right? Think about that for a second. Of the jurors on the Lindsay Clancy trial, 12 of the 18 are women. Now, when you're saying, Sean, 18's a lot, well, 6 of them are alternates. 6 people are alternates. So there is a possibility, albeit a very unlikely one, that all of the men could be the alternates. If all 6 of the men on the jury were the alternates, you would be left with a jury of 12 women judging Lindsay Clancy and whether or not she is guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, or we have a mistrial. And that makes me pretty confident in my prediction that we're going to get a not guilty by reason of insanity verdict in this case. I mean, I think these women are more likely to side with her leading to that or a mistrial. That's where I'm leaning in this case right now. You can predict it over at thenewsjunkie.com. Her attorney, just for the record, in his open and in his cross against a lot of the experts in this case, Lindsay Clancy's attorney has been pretty good. No matter what you think about the case and think about, he's a pretty good attorney. Pretty good attorney. Here's the take. The prosecution has had 3.5 years to investigate this case, and they've not produced not a single person anywhere who will say one negative thing about Lindsay Clancy. Everyone has attested she was a perfectly normal, well-adjusted, and caring mother before a sudden onset of extreme psychosis tragically warped her cognition. But men online and a small subset of women simply do not care about the evidence in this case because they somehow just know emotionally that Lindsay is fundamentally and irredeemably evil, secretly hated her own children, and everyone she ever encountered in her life was apparently just oblivious that they were harboring a sadistic, murderous maniac. Yeah, makes total sense. Facts don't care about your feelings, says this person of the Lindsay Clancy case. Thoughts? We'll get more into that a little later on in the show. Back to Dolly and some of the reactions. Let's get to the drama. Here we go.
Guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio. Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
Relax your feet. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Welcome into the world's most viral newsroom. About to sing SWV there for a moment, or whoever that was. Hang out with us. Send us a dispatch on the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Now, where was I before I was so unbelievably, shockingly overruled and interrupted by the death of Tim Curry out of nowhere there at 80 years old? I was talking about Dolly Parton, and I was talking about the reaction to her. And I was busy stealing all of the stories from the hot sheet to deflate C-Lane. And one of the things in the reactions pile here, the rundown.
His non-existent mustache right at the corner there.
The Empire State Building. They do this thing where they light stuff up for tributes. And it says, tonight, the Empire State Building tower lights will turn to a pink sparkle. This is what they did last night at 9:25. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
9:25.
Oh, I saw somebody had, this had to have been rage bait or something. They were like, Dolly Parton died on 9/25, aka 925. This had to be planned. And they're like, idiot, it's August 25th.
Oh, man.
Not September.
Yeah. Would have been interesting, though. I mean, the hurricane thing is interesting, coincidence enough if that happens. Dolly was a global cultural icon whose 7-decade career reached generations of fans. Beyond entertainment, Dolly leaves a significant philanthropic legacy through the Dollywood Foundation and the Imagination Library, they say. At 9:25 last night, they celebrated her and her legacy. This is how they lit up the Empire State Building. Pink,
badass,
sparkly. It's kind of cool looking. And
very
they're like
cool.
Flashing pink and pink lights all over in the Empire State Building, up in the area where those Russians climbed up and got arrested not too long ago. And the thing is, I mean, I guess double meaning here. Dolly Parton, pink was one of her favorite colors, obviously. But also, we learned that cancer was the cause of death, a short battle with cancer. And the Empire State Building, one of many places paying tribute to Dolly. Then we had the Buckingham Palace thing that we did. People were flooded over to Dolly Parton's house, which is a little weird. Like, they were straight up, that people were going to her house.
Here we are in Brentwood, Tennessee, and Catherine and I just stopped on.
Do not stop in the middle of the road in front of the house.
The cop's over it.
The cop doesn't even like Dolly Parton.
She's so tired.
She's like, you lunatics, what are you doing here? The woman's body is not even cold yet. My God. They flooded out to her house. Going to her house, weird or not weird, everybody?
I mean, super weird. I mean, I don't know. Trying to enter the house, I mean, that would be very odd. But this is not the first time that a beloved celebrity has died and people have found their house to, lay flowers and hearts and tributes and candles and stuff. Is it a little weird? Sure. But is it uncommon? Absolutely not.
Yeah, they do this. A lot of people get weird about the celebrity deaths and they show up at the house like this.
Do not stop in the middle of the road in front of the house. Keep moving, please.
Way home from dances. Brentwood police is
I can barely hear you, buddy.
Monitoring traffic to show our respects to Miss Dolly.
All right, he's walking around. There's people everywhere.
Traffic of people here and here who.
Yeah, people with flowers, like Celine was saying. Tennessee State Trooper guiding traffic.
Looks like they're going to let us all come.
They're letting them go to the gate, surprisingly, of her house.
Say hi.
I mean, you can't stop all of them.
Catherine, say hi.
Oh, this guy's bringing his daughter.
Up comes.
I want to say hi, Dad.
Sometimes we'll pass her house 5 or 6 times in a day, and it's always...
Go ahead.
So,
yeah, I don't know about this. It's a little weird that they do this, but I guess people are just looking for a way to pay tribute, and if you live nearby, you would do that.
This
right?
guy at least sounds like he lives in the area and goes by this house often, as opposed to somebody who I'm sure plenty of these people that you're seeing had made a last-minute pilgrimage to get out there and lay some flowers or just see the place, be there.
Yeah, it's. I guess that's normal enough to react in a way where you're nearby and you go over there. I would imagine when somebody takes me out for making some comment that they didn't like, when they pop me off somewhere, I would imagine you guys would gather at my house and throw hot dogs up onto the roof.
And gather at the speed bump where you guys had that party.
Yeah, we'll gather at the speed bump and play the speed bump playlist of all the traffic-related songs and stuff.
Heisenberg says that town she lives in, Brentwood, is the most wealthy area in Tennessee.
You don't say.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. She had a lot of cash.
You can't even see a house in this. We just see fence and a lot
Did Heisenberg just figure out Dolly Parton was rich? Or it's like,
it never occurred to me.
Are you telling me she was wealthy?
I thought she still lived in that 2-bedroom.
She's got a beautiful lawn, and I mean just stunning, just absolutely stunning.
She mowed it herself, I heard.
I don't think that's true. Yeah, I do not believe that's true. But there they were. They went out to Dolly Parton's house, and they were all over the place there. They were also, and I talk about fans and just looky-loos and the like, purchasing so many tickets to Dollywood, the theme park, that they sold out on most of the days in the beginning of this month or the end of this month and the beginning of next month, because people want to go pay tribute by going to Dollywood, purchasing a ticket and heading into the park that Dolly Parton owned. And this is like, how rare is this? How rare is this? And I'll cut the tributes and the reactions and all the Dolly Parton drama, including the juicier stuff where people start getting into fights. I'll cut it up a little bit on the show because we have other things to get into. But how rare is this? The Democratic Socialist of America posted this on their official DSA account. These are like the far left-wing people. Democratic Socialists of America extends our deepest condolences to the family, friends, and fans of Dolly Parton, a hero of the working class and an inspiration to us all. And they have a whole message, well, and many of us were inspired by Dolly's famous song, 9 to 5. We admire Dolly's lifelong commitment to uplifting poor and working class communities. Legacy of Dolly Parton is a commitment to a world of freedom and dignity for all, a legacy we as a DSA intend to carry forward. So the Democratic Socialists on the far left, and then even Trump in the same sort of post says, very sad to report that Dolly Parton, one of the greatest country singers and far beyond ever, has just passed away. This is a true loss for millions of people. There's never been anyone like her and never will. And then in her honor, I'm lowering the American flag throughout the United States for a 1-week period beginning tonight at 6 p.m. Rest in peace, Dolly. Wow. The world loves you. So the president of the United States and his far left opponents, both in agreement that Dolly Parton was great. Do we have anybody else that people agree on like this? If it was Tim Curry, I have bad news for you. But is there anybody else that people unite on? They're like, oh, at least we have this cherished person. C-Lane, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. He's polarizing.
Sometimes he can be. You should hear him off mic. Oh, my God.
Barely.
Yeah. When he gets into like race realism and some of the stuff that he's really, really into that he doesn't talk about, it gets wild. But there's got to be somebody else who's universally loved enough to, when they die, the president and the Democratic Socialists both post something about this, celebrating them. But that doesn't mean there wasn't people who were freaking out and being weird and doing stuff like this. Pretty sure she was a Trumper. Nothing of value lost. These kind of reactions.
This is rage bait.
Probably. I don't know that she has many things that she did that were political at all.
I saw a few arguments online last night where people were trying to pin her to the left because of some of the things that she supported would have just aligned politically with that, but she never really spoke about politics. So
she was religious, so then people would be like, she was religious, she's a Christian, therefore she's a right-wing Trump supporter, MAGA, whatever. And then she supported charitable causes and kids reading and poor kids, and they'll be like, oh, the left wing.
Socialist.
She didn't really engage in this, which was a great idea for her. People can learn a lesson from that. Yeah, she didn't engage in that at all, but there was a bunch of weirdos and attention seekers and those types of people who were chiming in on that front. Here's somebody responding to it.
Read this one.
Read all the words in this one?
Read it out so that because this most of the people are listening. It's not always a visual show.
I don't want to read all of it. It's not a rap song. Was Dolly Parton a Republican? ? Says Duff Juice. 1.5 million views. N-word what? I don't give an F if she was a Republican or a Democrat or an effing pescatarian. It's going to always be love from the black community for a person like her. You fools in your politics can eat a D, says Duff Juice. Shouts out to you, Duff Juice. Hard agree, friend. Hard agree from me to you. N-word what? Whoa. Turnaround time frighteningly fast. Turnaround time frighteningly fast on the career ender there. All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. By the way, I should work this in. People were like, some people were trying to spotlight that she said the N-word. Like, she said the N-word on Ellen. And they post a 3-second clip The shorter the clip, the more likely it's fake, everybody. They post a 3-second clip.
I wish I had a nickel. I wish I had a nickel.
A nickel. I mean, it's not even close. It's just obviously, I wish I had a nickel. All right? All right? I wish I had a nickel.
N-word what?
No. She didn't say that. She did not say that. Okay. Last one I'll dribble out for you where people post this kind of stuff. Did Dolly Parton donate to or have a stance on Palestine? Somebody posted. Like, I'm waiting. I'm a single issue Palestine person, right? These are the most fun people to be around, just for the record. Very, very fun people, the single issue Palestine people. It's the only thing in the world they care about, and try to suck you into their vortex of something happening halfway across the world, a place they've probably never been to. Did Dolly Parton donate to or have a stance on Palestine? The idea that you would wait, you're like, I'm holding back until I see what she had to say. Meanwhile, Miss Rachel, she could like rape a child in front of them. And they'd be like, well, her stances on Palestine were clear. So rip Miss Rachel. By the way, she didn't die. I know there's been a lot of celebrity
She didn't do that
deaths.
other thing you said either.
Yeah, definitely didn't do the other thing.
She didn't do that other thing as far as we are aware. We are not aware of any of that happening. And then somebody said, this is weird. Dolly literally created Dollywood because she wanted to pull her community out of poverty, helped fund the COVID vaccine. Is that true? I know she did some donations, but is saying help fund the COVID vaccine a little heavy on that one? Was supportive of the LGBT community, was a vocal supporter of Black Lives Matter. Is that true? Her Imagination Library ensured kids received a free book until they were like 5. Blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, don't fight with these losers. These are just single-issue voters and rage baiters and all the rest. We'll get to more of the reactions as the show rolls on. We're going to talk about this Eminem stuff and a few other things, but let's kick into some other topics to mix it up a bit. When we come back, I want to talk about a bit about what's happening in Nepal because that is crazy. We have a big update on the Chucky mask person that we were discussing. We've got a bunch of stories, including an autistic kid at the zoo that we've got to talk about. And much more. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Taste Central Florida, Orlando's.
The autistic kid at the zoo thing is more than a story about just an autistic kid going to the zoo. Just in case you were wondering. I kind of made it sound like it was a news story that an autistic kid visited a zoo, but there's a point, you know. I'm sorry, I'll do that. Yeah. Enunciate the N-words. Lesson of the day. Okay. Lindsay, Clancy, more coverage on the way. Let's see what we got for you, streamers. YouTube, if you like any of the show, if anything strikes you as entertaining or helps you get through your day, show a little love by hitting that like button over there. That's easy for you to do. Hit subscribe if you're new around here. We do the show every single day for 4 hours from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. It's everything going on with viral news, drama, whatever's happening in the world that has people talking. Still at a just one on the gifted board today. 1 is the loneliest number. And that's what's on the gifted board. Let's see what you got. Support the show by subscribing at thenewsjunkie.com to a premium subscription. Premium subscription over on the website. And that helps the show, funds all of this stuff that you see here. Already a subscriber, get yourself some sweet exclusive merch with some gifted subs. Like the canvas tote bag, which you could put God only knows what in here. You know, an infant. You could put an infant in there and just kind of tote them around. You know, like this. Very, very useful. A small amount of groceries, perhaps, could fit in there. Beach stuff. All of that. Just did, says Flats. Thank you, Flats. Appreciate you. Did that not go through? If he did? I don't think he's pulling my chain. We're back live in 2 minutes. Let me see. Can Josh please do more Charles Manson? I'm still laughing. Hang on. Oof, onslaught of messages coming in. Thanks to Mike, the latest Secret Show subscriber. Appreciate you, Mike. I don't see any gifted subs. So if you did, Flats, that hasn't come. Oh, yeah, you did. Well, Rick did. Rick gifted one. There he is right there. It just came in on the screen. So everything's working. All right, here's what we got. Stream exclusive. New ChatGPT features. Last we talked about this, ChatGPT could hook up with your iMessage on your iPhone, read all of your text history, look at all of your text messages, and even respond to people on your phone with a text message. Hard no. Now, ChatGPT Work can use the computer and browser to sign into websites on web and mobile without ChatGPT ever seeing your username or password. That means you can now ask ChatGPT to set up utilities for a new apartment, book a DMV or passport appointment, check reimbursement costs through your insurance, find and book an in-network doctor around your availability, check when your car registration expires and file for a renewal on your car registration, compare your rental insurance policy with another one, find and save apartment listings, cancel tickets for a scheduled trip, book a vet appointment, anything that requires you to log into a website. It will now use your credentials that you already have on your computer, and you don't even have to give ChatGPT your login info. It can access it. And it can do all this stuff. A lot of you sitting at keyboards right now realizing that perhaps your job is being made a little bit redundant. That perhaps you are actively being replaced by an AI as I speak. And you're probably right. Can I gift subs? Not of the sandwich variety. Subscriptions, you can. Hit that gift icon on thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, Guitar Girl. All right, we're up to 4. We are up to 4 on the day. Subscribe or gift subscriptions at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's get to that goal of 25. Coming back with this Nepal stuff, which is just absolutely crazy. Crazy news about toilet paper incoming right now.
NA member FDIC.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Broadcasting live from the world's most dysfunctional think tank. This is the news.
About toilet paper incoming. I know. Brace yourself. We'll get to some of the big stories of the day.
Take that one out of the hot sheet.
Big story. You ain't got no TP news in the hot sheet. I know that's
what
not
hotter
happening.
sheet than a sheet of toilet paper?
Oh, true. Yeah. Absolutely true. This is kind of crazy, though. I don't know if it's real or just fear-mongering, but before I get into what happened in Nepal, which is unbelievable, jump over to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie to see some of the visuals here. We'll also get into the Lindsay Clancy stuff that's on the way. More of the reaction to Dolly Parton dying yesterday at 80 and to Tim, what's his name?
Curry.
Tim Curry dying today at 80 years old. Tim Curry from Home Alone and from Rocky Horror Picture Show. We just announced that he had died as of last night, I believe. So absolutely craziness and a lot of things to cover throughout the show today. Lots going on. All of a sudden, a lot of viral news to discuss here. But one of the things that's happening is the whole trade war back and forth.
You were just complaining about how slow it was.
Finally, somebody died, for God's sake. We've got reactions. We'll cover it. We need news around here, whether it be good or bad. Thank you, Tom, for the 2 gifted subscriptions. So the trade war usually isn't sexy or interesting. C-Lane doesn't pay any attention to it. He yawns it off. He's like,
trade war, schmade war.
What do I care about this? But the U.S. and Canada, we were at the precipice of some sort of deal. Like we were about to make a deal. And then Canada said, we don't like the deal that the U.S. wants to work us into. The deal would make it so the Canadian authorities had to mirror some of the U.S. tariffs on steel, and the Canadians didn't want to do that. They didn't want to outsource their policies and trade deals based on what the U.S.'s trade deals are. And so they walked away from the table, and then some of their politicians like Doug Ford started to say things like Trump could kiss his ass, I think. Here's the...
Wondering, you sound a little more subdued than you did this morning on the radio when you said Donald Trump could kiss your ass. Did the Prime Minister tell you to ask you to tone it down a bit?
No, he didn't.
No.
I'm not going to comment, but he wasn't against that. And I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass. So,
all right, Canada.
Well done. I just do.
Canada fighting with us and telling the president to kiss their ass, at least this guy, the premier of Ontario, which apparently is allegedly a city in Canada. And now this could affect you, I hate to tell you.
No.
Because according to The Guardian, Josh, using the bathroom, is that something that you do?
No,
is that something
actually.
I don't believe you. I'm pretty sure you use the bathroom at some point during the day.
Buddy.
C-Lane definitely does. We all know he's a toilet breaker, and this may affect him as well. Using the bathroom or having a cry, this says, what kind of weirdo uses toilet paper for tears? Using the bathroom or having a cry is about to become more expensive for North Americans as the U.S. and Canada enter a full-fledged trade war that threatens to flush away decades of peaceful trading between the two nations. Problem?
It's a weird
it's a weird thing to cry into toilet paper. Isn't that embarrassing?
What kind of
weirdo?
The disdain at which you said, what kind of weirdo uses toilet paper for tears?
You know what kind of weirdo uses toilet paper for tears? Charles Manson, okay?
That's right. I cry in the shower because it's soft on my eyes.
My new favorite thing. The Charles Manson accent. You use toilet paper to cry, Charles?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, John.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know, all the girls use toilet paper to cry into.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
I figured there was something about that. Paper products. Hang loose. All right, you too. Thank you, Charles Manson. Paper products are among the hardest hit sectors, with Canada threatening to put tariffs on between 25 and 50% of toilet paper or face tissue stock from the 8th of September. So there was some worry that there would be surging toilet paper prices a la the pandemic, man, when everybody went crazy and bought up all the toilet paper. Never forget. Though American toilet paper and tissues are often made domestically, they rely on lumber-rich Canada for raw materials. I have this wild idea that as much as possible, we should not rely on other countries. It'll make us stronger. That's why we've been doing a great job in domestically attaining most of the oil that we use, or attaining it from sources that are a lot more balanced than, say, Iran. I think that we should also have a firm grasp on our toilet paper supply in the United States of America. Whether you're crying into it or whether you're utilizing it for other things, you know what I'm talking about. I think we need to have a firm grasp on our own supply. We need to be able to grow the trees, cut down the trees, turn them into toilet paper, bring them to the grocery stores, so that in the worst case scenario, we can still do that. Because that was a low point. I remember thinking during the pandemic, man, a lot of this stuff sucks. I don't want to do a lot of the things they're trying to tell me to do. And also, I hate having anxiety over my toilet paper supply. So I hope we're not going to have to deal with that. But the trade war with Canada could possibly make that happen. Or maybe it's just hype. Who the hell knows? We'll get to you in a moment here. Your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com. Another big story that we were discussing was this situation in Nepal, and the video footage is just so unbelievable. I'll put it on See It Now so you can take a peek at this when you get a chance because it's a visual. But the photos and videos of Nepal getting hit with this wave in some places that just looks like, what is it, day after tomorrow? What's that end of the world movie?
Day After Tomorrow is a good one. I would say 2012 had a lot of floody kind of things going on.
Yeah.
Day After Tomorrow, there was a lot of flooding, but then everything froze.
Yeah. It's just the way this comes in. It's like a 6-story high wave of mud that smashes into this particular city in Nepal.
Do you think there's any spot inside that building that is safe?
God, I don't know. I mean, for like the couple of minutes after this, it just, oh God.
Because you see the people running and like, it's hard to Monday morning quarterback this thing, but you go, well, where would you run to? Where's the place
like a
to go?
volcano is erupting. Like, it's just, there's nowhere to go. You're right. There's nowhere to go. You got to see this. Go to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. I'll hold that one so I can put it on See It Now. And here's Sky News talking about some of the aftermath. Let's see what they say about this.
Good afternoon. We begin in Nepal, where at least 9 people have died
by China, by the way.
Flash flooding. Officials say hundreds more are believed to be missing. Well, rescue helicopters were sent to in the Himalayan region.
Water surging through these cities.
To land. Have a look at these pictures. Well, roads, bridges, and power projects.
It's just unbelievable.
Have been damaged. Residents of several of Nepal's districts have been warned.
You know what's crazy? Oh, the bridge just washed out right here. The bridge is just completely washing out.
Away.
See you later.
Of the river.
The craziest thing is, doesn't this look like a tsunami? Like it literally looks like a tsunami is ripping
like a mudslide
through.
To me.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's a massive, massive mudslide. I'll get into more of what happened here and how it happened in a second.
Is it weird that he said like various bridges and power projects? And it was like, well, I mean, like, are they projects or are they actual in like established power systems?
Is that a British thing?
It could be.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if it's not, it just sounds like he's kind of crapping on, what we're looking at, what it looked like before it was washed away in a mudslide. And it was just like, oh, this is so third world that the power really is just a kind of a project. It's a power experiment, really, not so much an actually established system of generators and stations and cabling.
I don't think they're wrong about that, though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I was like, power project seems almost kind of like a dig.
This is Tibet. This is in Tibet, China. If you're frisky. I don't want to fight over it. But Girong Port in Tibet, some security footage that shows this massive, massive mud wave flowing in. And again, people are just kind of running away, heading away as fast as they can. You can't escape this. They said dozens dead. I think that number is going to just absolutely balloon with the footage that we're seeing here. And again, I know it's visuals, and many of you are listening. Most of you, in fact, are listening. So always remember, I'll put these up on thenewsjunkie.com in the See It Now section so you can take a look. But it just comes in and takes over. And it's not clear like a wave of ocean water. It is, oh God.
It took was that a parking garage?
It was a parking garage, completely leveled.
It made easy work of that parking garage.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Mother Nature.
The bridge lasted longer than the parking garage. And when I think of a parking garage, I think of like a relatively safe structure.
Yeah.
One would think.
This is the bridge one we saw there coming down. I'm going to put these all up. Here's another one. Blowing that whistle like it's going to help. And this smashes into a city that's on the other side of like a dam, or this is a dam. There's so much force behind this, too. It's pretty wild to see what this could do. Oh, this is a construction site. They better get the hell out of there. They don't have much time, these folks. They're on a construction site perched over the edge as the water is building up. And it just keeps coming and coming. about the dam. This guy realized it's not too smart to film.
Yeah, get out of there.
You can hear the power of this. Unbelievable. Go check this out. YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie. You can take a look. It's just frightening what happened to these poor people. And then one more thing. Oh, this is another clip here in Nepal. This is from way up high. It's so much water that it just looks like AI. It looks like an end of world movie.
Oh, shit, man.
Don't know what they're saying. They're speaking another language there. It's another language, so I don't know exactly what they're saying.
There's a couple words in another language that we probably...
He said, I think he said ote is, I believe, what he said there.
Ote, man.
All right, the other thing was, hang on, I just had a quick thing to work in, which was about the cause of this, according to some of the experts. The deadly flooding in Nepal on Wednesday was likely set off, at least in part, by an enormous chunk of ice snapping off a glacier and cascading down thousands of feet into the valley below, according to an initial assessment by a group of geologists and glaciologists. Don't meet them often, huh? The phenomenon known as an ice avalanche. So what you should know, though probably a lot of you don't, is Nepal, all these areas, Tibet, but between Nepal and China, most everybody lives in the mountains, up in the mountains, and there's these valleys at the bottom of the mountains. Now, this is one of those places where they complain about like climate change and stuff a lot and the impact of it. But in all reality, humans shouldn't be building in a valley below a mountain. It's a recipe for disaster. It's going to happen. So far upstream, a 2,000-foot wide chunk of ice drops and falls down about 4,000 feet, 400 stories, if you will. This says, I don't know if that's accurate, but it says falls around 4,000 feet into the valley below. That huge glacier chunk acted like, well, I mean, like dropping a giant rock into a bathtub or something, and you see the flow that comes out of that. It looks like a glacier in the area basically snapped off a clean break, allowing it to fall just over a vertical kilometer. So it did fall that far. A 1 kilometer drop vertically, this thing went. The bottom looks like a bomb exploded. It's just deposits from the broken up glacier, they said. A chunk of ice with a width of 2,000 feet snapped cleanly off the glacier. It fell from an altitude of around 17,000 feet, dropping almost 4,000 feet into the valley below. This is a big chunk of ice that's stored at high elevation in the mountain with a huge amount of potential energy, a glaciologist at the University of Dundee in Scotland says. Just absolutely unbelievable. And again, I'm going to put the visual. I'll put the main one because it's the most stunning of them all in the worst kind of way. I'll put that up on the See It Now section of the News Junkie app so you can take a peek at it when you get a chance, maybe when you get off work or stop driving. You got to feel for these folks. Ain't nobody throwing out a Lindsay Clancy GoFundMe for these people in Nepal, but their whole village in a valley. And I mean, this was like a huge... This is like a whole village, big buildings and everything, just completely, see you later, like that, just wiped out. So there you go. That's what
fascinating. The
like.
Camera survived.
Yeah, it is. Like the whole thing is kind of fascinating in the worst kind of way. That's just what we're looking at here. Let's work in a dispatch or so. We might as well. Let's see what you have on your mind. Who should we get to here? You can dispatch the show. That's a recording that you can make over at thenewsjunkie.com. Here's Jay Ryan, who says, "You're right, Sean. Of course I am. Kidding me?"
Hey, junkies. I was just catching up on yesterday's podcast, and I was hearing the conversation where you were listening to El Sayed on the Fox News, which I also do enjoy. I agree with you. Like Pete Buttigieg goes right on Fox News. There's a bunch of more moderate and even some progressive, like El Sayed, Democrats who are stepping up and starting to go into the quote unquote lion's den, which I also enjoy. I like seeing that uncomfortable exchange and pushing ideas. As far as transgender kids, you don't see a lot of sex changes, things like that. Most of the time when a child has gender assignment surgery, it's usually because they're intersex or used to be referred to as hermaphroditic. So it's usually a parent choosing which gender their kid is going to be raised as, and making the genitals match. Sometimes the child is included in that decision, but it is up to the parents because they're minors.
I think it used to be true, Jay Ryan, probably 20 years ago before all of this. I do not believe that is true anymore. Intersex is even more rare than transgender people. And though the transgender youth getting surgeries is pretty rare, top surgeries in the United States busted into the thousands. I don't know what the total number is on that. But it busted into a pretty significant number at some point in time. I don't believe that is the case, that most of the time it's parents with an intersex child. That's just so few and far in between. But people don't really care that much about this stuff. They care about how much everything costs at the grocery store. They care how expensive it is to feed their family. They care how property taxes keep going up and up and up. And if they try to save a little money on property taxes for the poor people, then they start accusing people of setting up for disaster with your house is going to catch on fire and there'll be no fire department to come out. Those are the problem.
I think people did care a little more about it when they were being told that their tax dollars were going towards sex changes for prisoners. I don't know if that was ever really that accurate, but that was just one of the wild things that kept getting thrown out there. And I was like, why would you ever do that? Well,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I do like what his main point is, though. I do truly like when you have somebody who's either on the far left and then they go on Fox News and they're brave enough to fight for their ideas, or somebody who's on the far right and then they go on like an MSNBC or something to go into, as he said, like the lion's den. I like that. I think that's good. I think when we get into our own silos, nobody learns anything, nobody gets tried on anything. And I think that's better. I think it's better to engage in that way. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see what you think about all of this. Let us know. Send a dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com to join the show. I will, as we go to this break, put that Nepal footage up on See It Now. I'm getting a good screenshot right this moment, and you'll be able to find that on the website or the app in just a second here. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Even if it's okay.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes, everybody. Flags at half-staff for Dolly Parton. Hang on, I'm putting this Nepal footage up on the website so you can watch it later if you want. Shocking footage shows massive landslide in Nepal. There it is. Now it's posted on the website. Go grab that. God, you gotta think that must make you glad that we don't have to worry about that in most places in the United States. You know what I mean? Chat, what AI do you use? I'm hearing more and more people say Claude. I'm hearing more and more people say Gemini. I feel like there's a little bit of an exodus from ChatGPT. Yeah, on the top surgeries for minors, it's kind of hard to find good numbers on that, but it looks like over 1,000 last year, just so you guys know. Over 1,000. I'm talking about usually between 15 and 17 years old. I don't give a shit what an 18-year-old does. I don't care what an adult does. Surgeries on kids and on teenagers, no. It's a big, giant, hard pass for me. Absolute no. But that looks like the number on that. It's child abuse. My wife uses Claude. I don't know what that says about her. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Child abuse would be an interesting argument to get into, but certainly there does seem to be a particular type of parent that like wants to shove their kid in that direction, which is so fucked, man. Really weird. I don't like ChatGPT. I use Super Grok. Damn, this guy over here using Super Grok. I've never even met Super Grok. Does that mean you have to pay? You got to pay for Twitter or whatever? By the way, fans are coming at the performer and singer Jelly Roll. Any Jelly Roll fans in chat? Jelly Roll went in on Jimmy Kimmel Live as a part of Jimmy Kimmel's summer rotation of celebrity guest stand-ins. For his first monologue on Monday, Jelly Roll made brutal remarks about Donald Trump's weight gain and approval ratings. People, a lot of his fans got upset about this. He said, "It's because I'm hosting a damn late night show. That's where you talk about the news and you make jokes." He says, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever done to stun people." People said he's a sellout. He's falling off the deep end. I bet you lost half of your base that you made your money from after taking some brutal shots at the president in a monologue filling in for Jimmy Kimmel this week. Hot damn. I would have missed that one entirely. Because if somebody says to me, "Sean, do you want to watch Jimmy Kimmel tonight?" My answer is always no. But if they say, "Sean, do you want to watch Jimmy Kimmel with guest host Jelly Roll?" my answer is triple no. I don't get that. But do you think it's right what he's saying? He's saying like, "Look, I'm a late night host. I'm making jokes. That's what we do." The president, he's in the White House. What is he? Is he above jokes? That's what Jelly Roll says. Some people seem to be a little angry. He got skinny and divorced his wife. Now, I don't know about this, and I don't want to weigh in on the Jelly Roll drama too much because I don't really give a shit about this guy. But did he leave his wife or did his wife leave him? Because I thought his wife had left and was like hanging out with some young, hot dudes, and he was just crying into his leftover skin. That's what I heard. I might be wrong. 90 seconds and we're back live. Not a fan of him? Hello? Did you hear Tim Curry died? Sorry to give you that information.
I mean, I liked him in Home Alone.
He was so good in Home Alone. He was the best.
I don't think he was great in it.
You don't think he was good in it? All
It
right.
was just, that was a cheesy time. It was like Batman kind of.
Yeah, but it was still pretty good, right?
For me.
Okay,
It wasn't a
okay.
TV show, though. It wasn't a movie.
You don't have to be such a hater.
I don't think Jelly Roll should comment on anyone's weight.
He doesn't have that weight anymore, though.
Yeah, but did he lose it on his own with
No.
dedication and
No.
exercise? No, he didn't.
No. No.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. No, he didn't lose it on his own. He took the jilps. He did the Ozempics. What do you think, Jelly Roll is getting on a treadmill? That ain't happening. Conan's travel show is back? I've never seen that. I haven't seen that. We're coming back live on our show, though. So you can travel your ass over here to the play button. And we've got an update on the Chucky mask person. Lindsay Clancy stuff queued up. Grand Theft Auto. Let's do the Grand Theft Auto drama. Let's work the Grand Theft Auto drama in right here. Anybody in chat who is going to play Grand Theft Auto on day one, say yes. Yes or no? Are you planning on playing Grand Theft Auto on day one? Going to be a lot of don't cares.
Podcast series Fault Line Haditha tells the story of a shocking crime and a cover-up at the highest levels of the United States Marine Corps.
If you've got 5 players and you offer immunity to 4, you better be right about the 5th. Because if you're not, then you've just given immunity to your killer.
Listen to Fault Line Haditha on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Fault Line Haditha and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence.
And I told you, now's the time. This is the first one we've ever done, so I want to juice up the numbers a little bit. Everybody who's listening, go over to, on your cell phone, your desktop, whatever, go over to thenewsjunkie.com on the homepage. First of all, you'll see, a bunch of stuff, some gifted subs available to some very, very generous listeners like CB Twisted. Thanks for the 6. Tanya, appreciate you. Rick, appreciate you. So those are up on top. You can claim a gifted subscription to get premium access to the website and app. But if you scroll down past the rewards you can get for subscribing, you'll see on the bottom left predictions. And now there's a prediction meter there that will fill up with your success rate based on, are you accurate at predicting stuff that's happening in the news? Sort of Kalshi-like or those kind of things. We want to be the first show ever to hold you, the audience member, accountable. And how seriously should we take your takes when you're talking about something? When you say, I think this is who's going to win the election. Well, if you got a prediction rating of 100, then I might take you seriously. I'd be like, this person knows what they're talking about. But how do I know Joe Schmo from somebody who's actually quite smart about these things? Well, predictions. So that's on the homepage there on the bottom. And the first one that we've launched is, what will the verdict be in the Lindsay Clancy trial? This is the viral trial that everybody's been talking about. The Lindsay Clancy trial, your prediction, you can choose guilty, not guilty, which is the insanity defense, or a mistrial. So far, it's 56% of people think it's going to be a guilty verdict. I think you're wrong on that, folks. I think you're wrong on that. Need I remind you, there are 12 women on this jury for the Lindsay Clancy trial. 12 women, 6 men. And 6 people are alternates. The 6 people who are alternates don't know yet. It could be all 6 guys, which would be crazy. It'd be 12 women on a jury. So the odds of a mistrial, or one of those women saying that the defense's case is resonating with them and they're going to go not guilty by reason of insanity, I think is pretty good. So that's where I'm leaning on this. But you can get your prediction in right now. You don't have to be a subscriber. Anybody can do it. But we're like kind of making sure we keep everybody. We're measuring you up. All right. That's what we're doing. So go do your prediction over at thenewsjunkie.com. Hit guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity or mistrial. You can change that, by the way, up until this goes to the jury. So right now, if you go in and go, I think it's guilty, then we talk about something today or tomorrow. As long as it's before we lock the prediction, you can change your prediction. This is smart too, because your mind should be able to change. Right? You should be able to learn things. Oh, okay, I changed my mind. My prediction rating will be better. You can change up until we lock them. And the what will the verdict be in the Lindsay Clancy trial is still open. So get yours in there right now. Okay, so we will see what's happening with that. Right now, one of the big things that's going to be on the docket for tomorrow is Rockstar Games will be releasing the trailer for Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 6 first look trailer. I don't know.
It's going to be some gameplay footage, I think.
Gameplay footage, says Josh. He's the gamer here. And ahead of this, Rockstar is responding. Here's Rockstar Games. They are responding to the hacks of Grand Theft Auto, the leaks. C-Lane's half buying into this conspiracy that maybe they were somehow involved.
I thought it was a really great theory.
It's a good theory.
I thought it was very, very GTA coded, like very would go along with the culture of the game itself to start doing little bits in the run up to the release.
And you get even more press out of this without the real fear that anybody's going to leak it. But I did see people downloading the file, and I know that they did subpoena Microsoft and Discord in the leaks. So that makes me think that there is not something to the conspiracy. Here's Rockstar Games. They say, "Dear all, we know that many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of the past week."
I don't think I've ever written a letter to everybody.
It would be, you should write all your letters to everybody.
Dear all.
Just office emails. Dear all.
To whom it may concern, and also the rest of you.
It would be an understatement to say having videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay leak in this way has been heartbreaking for our team, the creators said. And this is obviously not how we intended for you to see the game after all this time. We are very sorry that everything has taken as long as it has. From getting the game finished, nearly there, to sharing more details and official gameplay, and providing the community with everything you want to know. We're very excited for everybody to see the extended look tomorrow. Okay, that's going to be on Netflix first, and then a couple hours later, I think, on YouTube. It has taken longer than we wanted to get it ready, but as with everything we do, we know we need to exceed your expectations, and we're determined to deliver at the level you expect and deserve. While it's unfortunate that the intended game experience may now be impacted by some spoilers, we hope that everybody will wait a bit longer to experience the game for themselves on November 19th. We want to thank everybody in the community who's reached out with messages of support this past week. Your words have meant more to this team than you can imagine. Ultimately, we're making this game for you, and without you, we would not have the privilege of making games. We look forward to sharing more with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. They post this ahead of the actual release of GTA 6, at least the extended look on Netflix, which drops at 3 p.m. tomorrow, okay? Just so you guys know. Yeah, it's going to be dropping at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Josh, do you think you're going to be playing this day of when it comes out?
Absolutely.
You are?
What day is it coming out? November 19th?
I believe, yeah. Tomorrow is the extended look, and then see if you can confirm that.
Good. It's a Thursday, so we'll move secret shows that week.
Yeah,
because I'll be playing Grand Theft Auto.
There is going to be people calling in sick. There's going to be people not showing up. There's going to be people coughing and not feeling too
Your
good.
Slack channels are going to be a little quiet there. You work from homers.
No, why does it feel like you're not typing as much today as you generally do? Your chat will be dead.
Get a mouse jiggler ahead of time.
You might need to. Yeah, you might need to make sure that it at least looks like you're working, because that preview for Grand Theft Auto 6, after how many years? 10?
13? 14?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a long time, and that is going to be released soon. Twitch will be full of people playing this for sure, so that's coming up in a moment. Let me get to your dispatches, and then we'll get into the hot sheet. I got more on the Dolly Parton front, more up to it's about the death of Tim Curry that we just learned about. Lindsay, Clancy, all the stuff there is coming up in the second half of the show. The update on the Chucky mask guy in Philadelphia, all that stuff. Here's a video dispatch from Big Bird. What do you got for us, Big Bird? Here we go.
Yeah, I just wanted to put in my 2 cents about putting our flag at half-staff in this country. If there was a prescribed way to do this, military.
Same buddy. Yeah, he's tipping his hat down. It says CPO, retired military. What's it, Navy? Yeah, it says he was in the U.S. Navy. So we probably didn't encounter each other in the armed forces.
On account of you weren't in them.
My father being a Marine makes me de facto a Marine myself. So, hoorah to all my fellow Marines.
You wouldn't
out
have
there.
encountered anybody if that's the case.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
You say how would you encounter somebody?
Buddy, how do you think, seriously, how do you think they get people to fight in wars? You have people who sign up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then next in line is the people whose relatives went. And they call them up in what's called the selective service. Have you not heard of this?
Yeah, that's
That's
not how the selective service
I'm almost positive this is how it works. Selective
you
service
have a selective memory.
means that the next folks in line are the people whose parents, like my father was in the Marines, hoorah. And that means that I technically am in the Marines, and then they'll select me to be pulled up into the service. I'm like 90% positive.
Well, have fun in Iran.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the way, baby.
Can they select you now?
Yeah. Don't do that.
We only need one pair of boots on the ground.
Yep.
Back to the actual veteran who wants to talk about the flag being lowered to half staff for Dolly Parton.
Military. Believe it or not, it has nothing to do with popular people.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with politicians.
Okay.
And dead presidents and things like that. Rarely should be doing this, but we do it all the time, and I guess that's just the new norm. So there's my 2 cents.
Well, is he right? Is Big Bird right in terms of prior to, let's say, the last 10 years or 12 years or so, did we not lower the flag to half staff for people like Dolly Parton?
I don't think a lot of people got I don't think a lot of civilians got it.
I'm trying to go back, obviously, for the Queen, who is not an American citizen and a royal figurehead. They lowered the flag to half staff in the United States of America.
We did?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Why? We won that war.
I know we did, but fact check me. Put Queen, Death, Flags, Half Staff, America. That's what I would put.
This
you know
says American flags are lowered to half staff to honor key government leaders, fallen service members, victims of national tragedies, 9/11, and notable citizens designated by presidential or gubernatorial proclamation. So basically,
there you go.
Whoever the hell you want.
Yeah. That opens it up. It's because the president can declare half-staff flags for anybody, including Dolly Parton. I guess some people don't like that, though. It seems fine to me. It's a uniting thing in the worst kind of way. Quick break. When we come back, the hot sheet with C-Lane, that is on the way. More Dolly Parton reactions, Tim Curry information, and all the rest coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by...
Hey, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Let's see what I got for you. By the way, hit me up in chat in 3 words what you think the big story of the day is, something that maybe we haven't covered that we should. I try to remember each day that you too have thoughts on what you think the big story is. So hit me up in 3 words and what you think it is today. I'll tell you about this. We'll do This Week in Food. In the meantime, first item, would you eat it, yes or no? KFC has revealed the Oreo chicken burger. The Oreo chicken burger. On the way to a Kentucky Fried Chicken near you in China, which will be fried chicken and then Oreo cookies coming together as some sort of bun. The sandwich starts off ordinarily enough with a fried chicken patty and lettuce, if you do. Fried chicken patty and lettuce topped with brown mashed potatoes, dusted in cookie crumbles and placed between 2 Oreo cookie flavored buns. Would you do it? I'll give you a colored photo of this. KFC Oreo. Let me see. Okay. Would you, chat, yes or no? Y or N, yay or nay? Would you do it? KFC with the Oreo chicken burger. Seems a little weird. No, oh God, no. Oh wait, not with mashed potatoes. Avendosora, let's be clear. Brown mashed potatoes. All right, brown mashed potatoes are what they said specifically. Second question. I effing love Oreos, best cookie ever. Yeah, but would you eat a fried chicken sandwich with Oreo buns and mashed potatoes on it? Brown mashed potatoes? Second option. Would you eat it, yes or no, Y or N, yay or nay? A truckload of cheese balls has spilled onto a freeway in Los Angeles, California. Cheese balls with a Z all over the interstate, blocking the entire road of the 105 freeway. An entire truckload of cheese balls. Would you still eat it? Yes or no, Y or N, yay or nay in chat. I made fried Oreos last weekend. How fat are you? Lady would go nuts for this? True. If Lady was on that interstate, Lady would have gone in and hoovered those things. For those of you who don't know, Lady is my dog, a lovely Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, who you will see in the studio sometimes. Thank you, baby girl, for the 111 months. You have been subscribing for a while. You have almost been subscribing for 10 years. And yet brand new people are stumbling upon the show today. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that wild? All right, more Dolly Parton updates coming up in the hot sheet here. Beefy King says, I would only do that if I could dip it in milk. I'll allow it. Shamed if we're fat, shamed if we GLP. True. True. I'm just saying, who's deep frying Oreos at home? All right, here we go. We're coming back live on the show with a hot sheet. Dolly updates incoming.
Eyes last.
Advance Auto Parts. Get to the good parts.
The countdown to the NFL season is on, and Fox Sports Radio is where you join the conversation with the Dan Patrick Show.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
You have to strike when the iron is hot in the NFL.
And more. Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and listen now.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the News Junkie.
Yes, it did. Looking down at Westlake, Florida. Where you at, Westlake? Shouts out to you real quick before the hot sheet. There's people who are a bit pissed off, you might say, because a gas station in Westlake, Florida, a mobile gas station, made a little mistake-erino, you might say. And they did a little switch up. They were accidentally giving people diesel as premium gas.
Oh, no.
And so people would just pull up to the pump and they get that 93 octane and put it into the side of the vehicle and start filling up. And all right, here we go. They'd started off to leave and they screwed up at this mobile gas station in Westlake, Florida, and they put diesel in the premium gas.
How many cars do you think would have been affected by this? Because they can't make it that far from the gas station when they've got diesel in the tank, right?
Oh, they found out pretty quickly. One of them, Ellie Ferguson, is now facing a $26,000 engine replacement bill. RIP. Engine ruined, bricked in this case. Multiple customers say their cars broke down shortly after filling up at this particular gas station, this mobile gas station.
I don't even think that would have been on my radar if I just gassed up and then I chugged my way out of the gas station. And I don't think I would have thought of it first. Like, did I just get diesel?
Same. Yeah. They're calling this area Westlake now, which is interesting. It's Persimmon Boulevard and Seminole Pratt Road. That used to be the acreage, folks. Maybe Loxahatchee if you're getting dirty with it, but that used to be that area.
Getting dirty with it.
It's what people say. That's what everybody says.
Twice in a week that Josh gets to do that.
That's what it used to be called, but they gave out the wrong kind of gas, and if you were impacted, hit us up with your experience. Right now, let's do the hot sheet.
Hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigative reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
That's right. The top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And before we get to the Dolly Parton stuff, there is an update on a story that I had, I think, a couple weeks ago, maybe not even. But we heard that Ye, a.k.a. Kanye West, would be doing some shows over in Mother Russia. Yep. Shows that I believe are sold out. I think the 2 sold-out concerts scheduled for the 10th and 11th of October, organized by the Moscow-based Say Agency. And they've got something to say for sure, because the actual arena that these shows are scheduled at says there is no rental agreement that has been signed with the promoters for these shows.
Oh, no.
And accordingly, the concert cannot take place on our site. They say, we didn't get anything. We have not made an agreement. There is no Kanye shows at St. Petersburg's Gazprom Arena. West would have been the first major Western performer to play Russia since the start of the Ukraine invasion in 2022. And the arena acknowledged it received complaints about the planned appearance and stressed it was not and is not responsible for his booking. The agency said the announcement came as a surprise. We learned about it the same time you did through the media. As of now, the concert has not been canceled, according to the agency, and they're trying to contact the venue to find out the reason for their post and resolve the issue. So, is there a Kanye show? Is there not a Kanye show?
I like how Kanye is a bridge too far for Russians. This is that. It's like, well, we got to draw the line. Can't do it here.
Is a bit controversial.
Mm-hmm.
And on to Dolly Parton. If you are expecting some new music from her,
I was.
There might be some. Not the near future, though. The legendary country music superstar and executive producer of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, randomly, left fans an extraordinary musical mystery. There is a completely unheard song that she recorded for Dollywood's Dream More Resort that was sealed in like a time capsule that won't be open till 2045.
Come on.
So fans will have to wait another 19 years to discover what Parton wrote for the future. The 2045 unveiling is intended to mark 30 years since the resort opened. The singer would have turned 99 in January of that year, which weirdly enough, she later kind of expressed a little regret about locking the song away because she said in her book, Songteller, My Life in Lyrics, that sealing away the track felt like burying one of her kids.
Oh, she thought it was a good song then.
Probably. Or she said particularly because she did not know whether she would still be alive when it was finally played. So there was a chance she thought she could live to 99. Though the recording is unlikely to be the only posthumous material to surface in the years ahead. Parton previously said she had preserved a substantial archive of unreleased songs and had deliberately recorded material in ways that could allow producers to complete new arrangements after her death. And another thing that's been popping off since the news of Dolly Parton passing, there was a petition launched on change.org in January of 2025 that said, and I think this thing has potential. I think this could 100% happen. And the amount of signatures has been blowing up ever since the news came out yesterday that Dolly died. The petition is to rename Nashville International Airport to Dolly Parton International Airport.
Nice.
Yeah. Do it.
That's actually, I think that would have popular support, actually.
I think it was so doable. The petition was started because there was a small move to name their airport for President Trump, which ended up happening in West Palm Beach. But the petition just kind of sat there for a while, and then people started finding it yesterday and signing it. And last I checked, it was like at 73,000 signatures. So like 20,000 plus people, likely more, have signed it since news of Dolly's death. Sheryl Crow joined the call to rename the airport after Dolly Parton. Wouldn't be the first major airport named after a musician. Anybody know what famous musician the New Orleans International Airport is named for?
Louis Armstrong?
Correct.
Nice.
Points.
Louis Armstrong, the famous trumpeter. Currently, the Nashville airport is just called Nashville International Airport, although the sign is BNA for Berry Field, which was
it's going to be weird in the future, though, when we're flying around. You're like, well, I'm flying out of Donald Trump Airport into Dolly Parton Airport, and then I'm going to move over to Louis Armstrong Airport.
The actual petition said, we request the airport's name be changed to Dolly Parton International Airport to honor an icon who has given so much to our state and to the world. Sign the petition to make this change a reality. We could all be departing from Parton.
Oh, I like it.
It would be the first, it would become one of very few large commercial airports named solely for a woman. The most prominent counterexample is Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport in Little Rock, Arkansas, but that obviously she shares the honor with her husband.
It's too long of a name.
Kind of is, but it's a national airport. It's not
national airport.
It's not as prestigious, I think, as an international airport. Or in George W. Bush's case, an intercontinental airport. I don't know what the difference is. But if you fly into Texas, you might be flying into George W. Bush Intercontinental Airport, which just
Bush wins that battle.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it does. Northwest.
You could only beat that with an interplanetary airport, I think, right?
I mean, that would just be a space, like a space station, not space station. What do we call a thing in Kennedy? A
thing in Kennedy,
Space Center.
Space Center, yes.
The thing in Kennedy.
Folks, if we have any breaking space news, we're going to send you right over to Sea Lane.
Two little plates that they shoot the rockets off of.
There's something happening at that thing in Kennedy, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of the West family, Northwest, who I don't know much about, but I don't see this lasting if it comes to fruition.
Her life?
No. But she certainly doesn't lead a regular life, given that her parents are very famous people. The 13-year-old rapper says she wants a regular job. Next year, she will be eligible to work at Starbucks. Okay. And she sat down for a recent interview with Dazed Digital, and the reporter said, "Hey, would you want to be a basketball player if you weren't a musical artist?" And she said she has zero interest in basketball. She wants to work at Starbucks, and she wants to work there next year because she's going to be 14, and she wants to have a regular job. I don't see that lasting very long at all. I don't know much about this girl. I've seen some pictures. She seems to be have a crazy situation for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think
we're going to
not going to happen. Back to Russia, where former member of the band Pussy Riot, Rita Flores, has revealed that at one point she was coerced into working as an informant for Russia's FSB security service. So she was like a spy for the Russians. She gathered information on anti-war activists and was involved in a failed assassination plot against an exiled Kremlin critic. She said they began recruiting me with all kinds of threats and abuse, including threats to murder my family and that I'd never be able to prove who killed my mother. So they literally forced her into being kind of a Russian spy, threatening her with criminal prosecution over social media posts about alleged Russian war crimes in Ukraine, alongside death threats against her relatives. That's Rita Flores from Pussy Riot. Kind of hot for a spy.
Yeah,
I mean, even though that wasn't her intended career path.
But I thought female spies are usually really hot, aren't they? Or is that a honeypot?
Television would lead you to believe that.
What about a honeypot?
I think they actually are, though.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like the one that got with that guy in California or whatever. They're usually like an attractive woman, and then that's what they use to get in with somebody in power.
Does
and then
that mean female spies are supposed to bang people?
If they're Russian,
don't know.
yes.
I mean, if you really want the information.
I mean, Cash Patel's
wasn't Austin
girlfriend.
Powers a spy? Wasn't he a spy?
Yes, and he shagged.
No, he was an international man of mystery.
Oh,
I don't know if he would actually be called a spy. And if you are one of those people who's like, they're out of ideas, Hollywood has no more ideas, you could be right. You might actually be a little bit accurate there, because we've had a season of like reboots and sequels or Lego sequels, and 2026 has brought us The Devil Wears Prada 2, another scary movie, Toy Story 5. And they're not slowing down. Practical Magic 2 is coming out. Fokker-in-Law is hitting theaters soon. Shrek 5 and Greta Gerwig's Narnia. But the latest one to be released is in the works at Paramount, with Kate Hudson attached to produce How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days 2.
Oh,
why don't they just change the number of days?
You know, we could
5 days.
We could figure out how to lose the guy quicker. Plot details are still being ironed out. The 2003 original followed the cat
How
and
to
mouse
lose a guy in
romance.
one day. You just say, I'm a huge Lindsay Clancy fan. The rest just kind of solves itself.
You know what? Cancel the movie. Cancel the movie. We already got a good thing going on here. Hey, if you have a good thing going on, where you've got this mortgage quote and you go, hey, this is a really good one, I think I'm going to sign it. Stop and take a picture of it right now and go to thatmortgageguyDon.com, because he wants to help you shop around that quote. The number one mistake people make is just taking the first quote and running with it. You could be leaving money on the table. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Thank you, C-Lane. When we come back, more reaction to Dolly Parton dying. Tim Curry as well, dead today at 80 years old, both of them. We got the Lindsay Clancy stuff on deck, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Live sketch comedy makes its way to Mount Dora. Join comedians Ross Padgett and Joel Warren on a sketch comedy journey no audience will forget.
Folks, welcome in. Welcome in. The radio show might be on a break. Commercials and all that. But the stream rolls on. YouTube. YouTube.com/The News Junkie. Hit that subscribe button over there, YouTubers, if you're new around here. If you like anything that you see, if anything brings you any entertainment today, hit that like button or the subscribe button. If you want to go above and beyond, let's get to it. We got 12 on the board. Our goal is 20 premium subscribers on thenewsjunkie.com. And if you subscribe, you unlock the world of secret shows, all of the features of the website and the app. It's a glorious place to be. TTS dispatches. It's amazing. It's amazing. We've got 12 of you. If you're already a subscriber, you can gift some subscriptions to get exclusive merch as your reward. You gift the subscriptions to other poor-ass listeners and viewers. And then when you check out, it goes, congrats. You gifted 20 subs. Here's 20 credits. And you can get stickers and magnets and canvas bags like this. All from your glorious gifts that support the show at thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that gift icon. Hey, Steph, I see you. Brisby, I see you. Bootsy, TDG, Alien, CDCL. Hey, everybody. Welcome in on a Wednesday. What is it, a Wednesday? More Dolly reaction coming up in a bit. Quick update on the WNBA front. Inez Cantor Freedom, that's the former NBA star who wants to be admitted into the WNBA, but they said, no way. This is a stunt. We know you're not serious about being a pretend woman. And the Chicago Sky have banned Inez Cantor Freedom from their home games. They have banned him. 6'10", 250-pound Freedom was removed from Sunday's game after he was confronted by Natasha Cloud of the Sky. She was yelling at him. She said, Sophie Cunningham's not going to F you, and a bunch of other stuff, screaming at him. Freedom was sitting alongside the baseline wearing a black shirt that read woman, noun, adult, human, female, which I hilariously heard called an anti-trans t-shirt. You have really gotten people triggered if you're wearing a shirt that says woman with a definition of woman and you call that an anti-trans shirt. The mere definition and existence of women is an affront to these people. Fearmonger, hello. How are you? Welcome in. I remember the women's shirt on Beavis and Butthead, women with a Y. Quick question as a side quest here. Beavis and Butthead in 2026. Still funny, yes or no? Is it still funny or no? Got to load up the Secret Show's fridge for tomorrow. Your support funds things like this. The White Claw consumption of these guys on Secret Shows is quite expensive. Thanks for the gifted subs. They get them drunk, and then it makes for some pretty hilarious content. Back to the Dolly reactions in 1 minute. I'll get rid of this. The folks at the Waffle House on the other side of the wall will toss this in the trash for me, I think. Hopefully. All right. What'd you say? Thank you. Did you call me sweetie? It's better than when you call me Sean. She calls me Sean a lot. She's like, oh, Sean. Stop it, Sean. Stop it, Sean. I'm a fan of you. She calls me Sean. I call her little girl. That's what I said. So come over here, you little girl. That's what I like to say. Is that weird? All right, we're coming back on the show. Reactions coming in on the Dolly Parton front. I got some more drama around that. Let's dig in. Here we go.
Before and during treatment, seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Radio 104.1.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is
consternation, maybe even, on the Dolly Parton front. Now, this tripped people out. Poor Tim Curry, he may be getting Farrah Fawcetted. You know what I mean? Like, he dies after Dolly Parton, and people are like, oh, Tim Curry died too. Okay, back to Dolly.
There was another actress that died this week that some people were bringing up, like, Celine, that's the third. That's the trifecta.
Hayden Panettiere?
No, I mean, you could argue that, but there was one that I just thought like wasn't on the same level, and it was one of the stars of Coach, the old TV show Coach, Shelley Fabares.
Yeah,
she was 82. She was on the Donna Reed show, and she was like the female lead. She was in like every episode of Coach, which weirdly I watched as a kid, but I don't know why. I guess I thought it was a little funny. I think maybe it was just
wasn't as many things to watch.
Exactly, and it was just on. Coach always just happened to be on at the right time, so I watched Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Meep, for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Go grab those, courtesy of Meep on the newsjunkie.com. One thing I saw, I thought this was AI, because I said, I don't remember this happening ever. People have been posting Dolly Parton. She did a cover song one time. Have you guys seen this at all or no?
We have.
You have?
Have we? Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday.
Oh, wait, did we play it?
Well, no, we didn't talk about it on the show. I was talking about it with Josh.
Yeah, in our private conversations.
What song is it then?
Shine by Collective Soul?
It is, yeah. I would have never thought of Dolly Parton doing Collective Soul. Shine? Yeah.
I think there's an interview somewhere on YouTube of like Collective Soul reacting to or telling the story of the first time they heard it and just being like amazed by like the fact that Dolly Parton would consider one of their songs. I heard it on this this radio show that I listened to with a very problematic
co-host.
It's
called The News Junkie, okay? All right?
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Step over my joke.
Sorry.
I was digging at Josh there. I heard it on Sunday morning coming down one day, and I was like, is that Dolly Parton? This is actually a pretty badass cover.
And you guys played this on the radio?
Yeah. Problematic,
For real?
I know. We also have played her cover of Stairway to Heaven.
Really? I never pictured her. I never pictured her doing it, but I love somebody like Dolly Parton where when they do songs like this, the cover is so much in their own style. Like that doesn't sound like Collective Soul doing Shine and saying "Heaven Let Your Light Shine Down." That sounds like Dolly Parton.
Yeah, and I think the story was that she liked the song when she first heard it. Like her and her husband would play it in the house and stuff, and just randomly one day she decided like, I'm gonna cover this, and that's how it went.
I'm gonna cover this.
I've seen some of the performances of her when she was very young.
Great number of versions.
On the Wagon House.
Skinner Blues. Let it go.
Porter Wagner.
Is that who it is?
I think so.
This is an interesting move. She just got the guitar down by her feet here. She's not playing it yet. She had a great voice, man.
Good morning to you, sir. Hey,
I know there's a lot of attempt to kind of put her in this box of just being like the big boobed country star, because that was kind of the Dolly Parton thing. But she literally did have the chops. Like she could play instruments. She could sing quite good. She was a great songwriter. Well, hold on. Did she write those songs herself? Was she the songwriting force? She was behind this. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible stuff. Some of the other reactions. Marco Rubio finds out he has to be Dolly Parton now. R.I.P. Queen. The Marco Rubio meme on the couch.
That meme will not die.
Well, Marco Rubio sitting on the couch now dressed up as Dolly Parton. Never know how to feel about this. I've seen a lot of memes with Marco Rubio with boobs. And AI makes him look fairly real these days. But here he is, 1 million views.
Saying you
on
find
that.
Marco hot as Dolly Parton?
I'm just saying, if you put your hand over his head and then you just see the bottom half.
Good old Marco
Bubio. Yeah, Marco Bubio ain't bad, right? Then you get up to the face and go, okay. So there's Marco Rubio finding out he has to be Dolly Parton right now. The letters are starting to be revealed. This is a note in the final book from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Hannah Sampson posts this, 1.2 million views. It wrecked me last year when my daughter turned 5. I'm tearing up again reading it now. And it says, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library on their letterhead. Dear Imagination Library graduate, my, how time flies. This is from Dolly Parton. It seems it was only yesterday when your family and friends read you your first story. You were just a baby. Now you're 5 years old and about to go to school. How exciting. This may be your last book from my Imagination Library, but you have to promise me you'll keep on reading. If you go to your local public library, you'll find a great number of books just for kids your age. Every book is a treasure, and every time you open up one, you'll meet new friends and take wonderful journeys to magical places. Sounds a bit like the Magic School Bus here. I like the vibe she's putting out. I hope you have a great time in school. I bet your school will have will even have a library where you can check out books. You and all your friends are very special. There's no limit to what you can do or how far you go. Just remember the lessons my family taught me. Dream big dreams, learn everything you can learn, and care for all those who care for you. You do all of these things, and you can be anyone you want to be. Palestine should be free from the river to the sea. She finalizes the letter. You're terrific, and remember, I will always love you, Dolly. So she signed it off and sent this over. Except for the Palestine part. She sent this over to all of the young kids who would be part of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And the people were like, this is pretty sweet. This is just one of the great things that she did. Then Eminem drops in.
I saw this yesterday and I was like, Eminem commenting on Dolly Parton. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wow.
How crazy.
Yeah.
It's 13 million views on this. Eminem, as Marshall Mathers on Twitter, says, I'm sorry we never got a chance to meet, but getting this note from Dolly really had an impact on me. She definitely didn't have to take the time to do it. Even for a kid who mostly listened to rap music, she was an icon. A superstar in every sense, Eminem said. Rest easy, Dolly. Thank you for the kind words. And Dolly said, Marshall, Eminem in parentheses. Congratulations on your induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How long ago was that? That wasn't too long.
Can't be that long ago.
When Eminem got it. So congratulations on your induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Your performance was amazing, and everybody said so. Even though I don't know a lot about rap music, I come to know that you are the very best at it.
2022.
Aside from that hope, so this was about 4 years ago. Aside from that, I hope what I have to say will not seem weird or strange to you, but I have always felt some unexplained connection to you, like I know you somehow. I had hoped to meet you at the show, but you know how nuts those things are. Personally, I hate them, and I miss my chance, but maybe someday we will meet. In the meantime, keep doing what you're doing, because you do it so well, and no matter how complex your world may be, just know you're very special, and you touch people in ways you don't even know. With love and respect, Dolly Parton.
Man, could you imagine if they had gotten Dolly on stage to sing the female part to Stan?
Oh, I was just thinking killer. Oh. Yeah. Somebody said, you think Slim, of all people, would know the importance of responding to the people who write him letters, which is a great take, actually. Your biggest fan, Stan. Yeah. And then the other one on the Dolly Parton front that I loved, 4 million views. That rat bitch Jolene did this, which I also thought was good, out in the end. It's good to laugh on this day. It's what she would want, said some of the people. But that rat bitch Jolene did this is the post getting a lot of attention over there on social media. Let's see. Can we get a couple of dispatches? And we got the Lindsay Clancy stuff queued up. That'll be nice and explosive. We shall see. But I want to get your voices in. Peisenberg has something for us. Let's see what he says.
Ooh. Yoski Chodes. Wasson, I've been silent long enough, bud. Your stolen valor. My daddy was a Marine. Oh, my God. What'd you say? Your dad was in the Marine for the minimum amount of time, 4 years? Well, guess what, bud? On that status alone, I'm twice the man and twice the veteran you are. My dad was in the Army for 4 years and then in the Marines for 4 years himself. Whoa. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know him that well. Either way, on that status alone, you owe me a salute, sir. Get to it. Tip your ranking
I didn't
officer.
know him that well.
He beat me to it.
He was trying to avoid time with you so much that he enlisted in multiple armed services. He went from service to service to service, staying away from the house.
Well done on the delivery, Coleman.
That was good. Does he not have a star? What a sin. Okay, you have a star now. There we go. Let's see. Do we have time for one more? We'll work in some more in just a bit here on the show. I do want to hear more from you. A lot of emails coming in today, too. Somebody sent over a tip. They said this is from a Vegas listener, and it says the masked man that was wanted for terrorizing people in Philadelphia with that creepy doll mask was captured in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Chucky mask person, they were calling him. Yeah, here it is. The man accused of terrorizing people while wearing the Chucky-style mask in Philadelphia has been arrested in Las Vegas, authorities said. Zymeyer Hughes, 22 years old, was arrested around 8 p.m. in Las Vegas, being held at the Clark County Detention Center. He's going to be extradited back to Philadelphia. He has been a Vegas resident since February, but he has family in Philadelphia. That's where he put on this Chucky-style Halloween mask. I think Chucky is like catching strays here for no reason. Chucky doesn't really look like this. This doesn't look like Chucky. It looks like a porcelain doll, creepy, maybe Happy Death Day-esque mask, but all the headlines are like Chucky.
I think
it's Chucky.
I think if you look at the Curse of Chucky full mask, it's not exactly the same, but I think people are looking at what seems to be the stitches all around, going all around the face, and just kind of drawing those lines, making that jump pretty easy.
So this guy's been charged now, and they said he asked one woman if she was ready to die. He fled Philadelphia. Oh, this is interesting. To Ewing, New Jersey, and then felt the heat on him in New Jersey, and then fled to Orlando, Florida, where I don't know did he kick on the radio and hear us talking about him? Oh, no. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to Las Vegas.
Somebody would have had to know something about this guy, though, because really all you had to do was take off the mask and go back to Vegas, and you probably could have gotten away with this, and they would have been like, all right, we never found the Chucky guy. Let's stop looking.
Yeah, I think he might have gone some places. Remember when he went to some kind of fast food place and he was in line? I don't know if he spent money and they looked up a debit card transaction. They somehow found out who he was. They found out who the guy was. He's allegedly carrying a cell phone with him at the time of this and was filming the incidents. He's been charged with aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and related offenses, and will be shipped off to Guantanamo Bay.
Interesting.
That part is not true. That is not true. A lot of fake news escaping out there today. That part is not true. But he is in some trouble.
It seems to only be escaping your mouth.
Philadelphia. All right, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, Lindsay Clancy, the closing arguments are happening. We got a lot of new drama around this one. I want to talk about that journalist, this one here. The journalist who was in the courtroom is like, smiling like Tim Curry in the courtroom. This woman's name is Brittany Romano, and she works for Forbes and a bunch of other outlets, Cosmopolitan, I guess. And she was just smiling in the middle of this murder trial. And it's almost like, it almost looks like Obsession. It looks like a scene in Obsession.
Yeah. She kind of even looks like the girl.
A little bit, yeah. And so now she's speaking out and defending herself. I've got her comments. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about the broader Lindsay Clancy trial. We'll talk about your predictions, which you're putting in, hopefully, for this first prediction over at thenewsjunkie.com. All of that and more is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our constant mispronunciations and poor grammar are clear indicators that we are not AI.
Hey, you. Let me take the temperature, chat. YouTube, Twitch, TNJ chat. Let me take the temperature here. I want you to lock in your predictions on the website, but just to get a vibe at where you're at before this segment here. Lindsay, Clancy, is your opinion that this is going to be guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, or mistrial? I just want to get this into chat here too. But make sure you predict over on the website. But just to get those in chat. Cat BH says not guilty by reason of insanity. All right? I mean, I think that's where a lot of people are leaning toward. I think watching the opening statements, specifically Lindsay Clancy's attorney, the way he laid this out, the way he counteracted a lot of the arguments that the state is making, I think there's a decent chance. But we got mistrial, guilty. Cat BH says, I don't agree. I just think that's a verdict. Same. But let's remember something. You guys who know who Andrea Yates is? Does anybody know who that is? Andrea Yates, another famous story where a woman killed her kids. When a parent kills just the kids, it tends to be, or more often than not, it tends to be the woman, the mother, when it's just the kids. When you have a situation like you had in Montana this week, where the guy killed like 8 family members and his wife, when they kill the significant other as well as the kids, it tends to be a man. I believe it's filicide. I think I'm correct on that. But in cases like this, in Andrea Yates's case, she had a lot of the same experts in her case, and she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Andrea Yates killed her kids and was found not guilty by reason of insanity by a jury. Now, I think some people have the idea in their head that that means the door to the court opens, and then, you know, if this happens to Lindsay Clancy, she'll be like, oh my God, let me get my News Junkie canvas bag, and then she'll just skip on out of the courthouse and then go have some more kids or whatever. That is not the case. To this day, Andrea Yates is still in a facility where she is locked away and getting mental health assistance. She wasn't released. She wasn't freed, nor will Lindsay Clancy. In fact, there is no way outside of a mistrial that Lindsay Clancy will actually be released back into the public. If she's found not guilty by reason of insanity, she will be, as is the case in almost all of these cases, remanded to a mental health facility for an infinite duration or for an indefinite duration of time. She could get out of there if they deem her not to be a threat to herself or anybody else, but she will go to one of these mental health facilities where she will be away from the rest of the world for some portion of time. There's no her running out and getting released. And if she's found guilty, well, then obviously she's facing a sentence in a traditional prison. So there's no escape other than a mistrial or hung jury where Lindsay Clancy is getting released. A lot of you were saying guilty, that you think it's going to be a guilty. I wonder if that's the case, where you're pulling that from. Again, I'm not asking you what you think should happen. I'm not asking you what you think is right. I'm asking you what you think is going to happen. I'm asking for a prediction, not judgment. 2 minutes and we're back live. Andrea Yates is an extremely ill person and should never be free to public. Her story is so tragic. Susan Smith killed her children because they were in the way of her having an affair. Well, that happens. You guys might have seen the documentary about the guy who was married and he had these 2 beautiful young daughters, And then he called the cops and he's like, I don't know where they all went. I don't know where they went. And they found out the dude snuffed him out because he was talking to some young hottie online. And he would rather snuff out his whole family than just like leaving in disgrace, I guess. Seems so foreign to us normal people. Not guilty by reason of insanity is usually worse than guilty. Do you agree, chat? Yes or no? I don't know about that. I'd rather be in a mental health facility than a prison. Right? I predict she'll be found not guilty and inspire a wave of copycat killers. Well, there's no not guilty, fearmonger. There's only not guilty by reason of insanity. So there's no like, she's not guilty, O.J. Simpson. All right, here we go. We're coming back live in just a moment. We got to talk about this weird-ass reporter covering the Lindsay Clancy case. Hit like over on YouTube. Here we go.
For the ones who get it done.
Everyone wants answers. I'm just really confused about what happened that day.
A new podcast series, Fault Line Haditha, tells the story of a shocking crime and a cover-up at the highest levels of the United States Marine Corps.
If you've got 5 players and you offer immunity to 4, you better be right about the 5th. Because if you're not, then you've just given immunity to your killer.
Listen to Fault Line Haditha on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Fault Line Haditha and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95 percenters. This is the
My blank this week, it's Rate My Weirdest Talent. You just tell us what your weirdest talent is, and we might call you on it and ask you to prove it at some point. We haven't had too many entries on that, actually, because I've been bad about playing them, but we'll work some in today, I promise. Right now, the Lindsay Clancy trial is about to be at closing statements. In fact, our closing arguments, let me see, are they in session? No, right now, it's just the seal. You know, and they're like when they're in the court and they're not showing anything.
They just sent the jury home for the day.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that they probably send the jury home right now and then maybe come back clean for closing arguments tomorrow. Is that the idea?
I think so. I just read it kind of in passing during the break just now. And I was like, oh, so there's nothing new going to come out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, a lot of people have different takes on the Lindsay Clancy story. Somebody in chat was like, I think she's going to be found not guilty, and it's going to inspire a wave of copycat mothers doing this, killing their kids. I said,
I don't know about that.
I think the idea that would happen is kind of far-fetched. I think that it is definitely illuminating that there are a bunch of mentally ill TikTok ladies who fall into these traps and who are just bizarre individuals. And we need to highlight that and show that something weird is going on there. These people who are like, well, sometimes you abort your child at 8 years old. Sometimes these things happen. And it's like, no. Us normal people are not going to buy into that. But I was talking to Courtney about this, and she's like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think should happen? When we were going on our walk, we talk about the dark stuff, apparently, sometimes. And as we were discussing this, I said, well, the biggest thing for me, I just watched the opening arguments in the case, and the opening arguments for the defense and the prosecution were very interesting. Lindsay Clancy's attorney is quite good. He's a very foghorn leghorn style attorney, like one of those guys. And he's doing a good job representing her. That's important. Even the worst among us should get good representation. He's out there doing his thing. And perhaps yucking it up a little bit too much with some of the fans that are out there. But I said to Courtney, I was like, to me, if I'm on the jury, and that's what I try to get into, that mindset, if I'm predicting, like you can do over at thenewsjunkie.com, scroll down to the prediction about this case. If I'm trying to predict, I'm trying to get into the head of the jurors. I have to think about the jury first. There are 18 jurors. 6 of them are alternates, which will be dismissed very soon as the closing arguments are over and the jury goes to deliberate. The people on this jury have not been sequestered, so they very likely could have seen some of the outcry, the coverage, the weird TikTok ladies, and that sort of stuff. And I said, what's going to resonate? Well, I think to the 12 women on the jury, because it could be the case that the 6 alternates are dismissed, and maybe it's just 12 women on the entire jury. That probably won't happen, but could happen. I think that it will be powerful, more powerful than anything else, that her husband is not testifying against her. Her husband, who lost basically everything in this situation, who seemed to be a saint of a man, despite the fact that he was a Gemini and just, according to the conspiracy theorists, an all-around murderer.
With evil face.
Evil, terrible face of his. Despite all of that, he seemed to be a pretty great guy. He had moved his work into the office, which he made in the basement of their house, so that he could be at home more with the family, and so that he could keep an eye on things, considering
so that he could kill.
So that he could kill her, right? In the eyes of the TikTokers, right? But so I said these people on this jury are going to hear the dad, the husband. And they did. They heard him testify for 2 days, and he was not siding against her. He was not trying to push for the guilty charge. He is trying to push for the insanity charge. So he's essentially on her side in this case. And I said, as a juror, that is probably a very powerful thing. That will probably be something that will be quite convincing. You said, who's got the biggest axe to grind? Who's the person who would have the response that would be important to me in this case? Well, what does the husband want? The husband thinks it was a snap and thinks that she did this because of postpartum, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's kind of a big deal, or will be with the jurors. Now let's go on to this moment, this weird sideshow, where we see all the people in the courtroom, and among them is this woman who was smiling, Brittany Romano. Is her name, and she's so bizarre. She does this weird smile, like sort of posing side to side, like the girl from Obsession or something. And remember, this is a trial where a woman killed all of her kids, which is absolutely brutal. And the woman, who I think is currently writing for Cosmo or something, I don't know what outlet she's with, she's defending herself. Josh, stay by the dump button. I hope she doesn't curse, all right?
Okay.
She is responding now. She's covering the high-profile Lindsay Clancy murder trial, facing widespread backlash after being caught on a live court TV broadcast, smiling and winking at the courtroom. She was seated in the press section. Vanity Fair announced on Tuesday that it will not move forward with a personal essay she was pitching about growing up with Clancy, citing conflicts with editorial standards, so she lost her press pass, I guess, perhaps.
Damn.
She was not present in the courtroom yesterday or today. And so she has this response. Now, this is where I'm worried about her cursing, but let's see what she said. Here she goes.
Yeah, so hello, my name's Brittany Romano, and everyone really seems to have an issue with me. And here's the thing that we need to all straighten out. Last week I walked back in with spinach in my teeth. So when I was late after having to deal with the Luigi Mangione crisis, I love how everyone's really giving preconceived notions, but yet you're sitting in your living rooms giving X, Y, and Z. If you were in that courtroom every single day, I would love to know what your thoughts are.
I got to tell you, whenever I encounter a woman like this in the wild, I don't know how much this is like, did she have a couple of glasses of wine? Did she?
I just gotta tell you, you were sitting there. I had a Luigi Mangione crisis.
What does that mean?
And I had spinach in my teeth.
The Luigi Mangione crisis was him pleading guilty, Josh.
Oh, what a crisis.
The crisis was Luigi Mangione pleading guilty of killing the healthcare CEO. She was covering that case, too. Thank you, Jan Pin, for the 2 gifted subscriptions. And this woman, I wonder, is it wine? Is she drinking? Or sometimes there's women like this and they talk and I have no idea what they're saying. I I can't follow what's going on here. There's words coming out of her mouth. You see what I'm saying?
Got a voice for print.
Do you even follow what she's saying? She's like, spinach in my teeth and Luigi.
Giving preconceived notions. But yet, you're sitting in your living rooms giving X, Y, and Z. If you were in that courtroom every single day, I would love to know what your thoughts are. But this little bitch, El Parentan, my name is Rainer Mile. Please don't spell it wrong. I have an older brother named Justin, Justyn, and a little brother named Nick. And here's the thing, I do date a lawyer.
See what I'm talking about? She's going off on little weird tangents.
She sounds drunk.
Why do we care about her brothers' names?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
And every single thing that you've been saying has been screenshotted. So maybe look in on the repercussions of what you're saying.
What are the repercussions of what she's saying?
I don't know. This woman was a reporter.
Was there a threat made? Was there...
She works for Vanity Fair in New York Magazine. This is the person that you're in the world of communication. I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't understand a word that you're saying. There's a type of person like this that is very frenetic to me. And I know when I listen to them, it just kind of crashes into my brain. Sometimes people will go, no, I understand what they're saying. Do you understand? Does anybody understand what the hell this woman's saying?
You're putting out X, Y, and Z. Is that what is she saying that the reason it looked like she was smiling in the courtroom because she was trying to tongue a piece of spinach out of her teeth?
I think so.
She brought the camera hit her.
But it's very hard to understand anything, for me at least. But maybe she was bringing the spinach in the teeth thing up because that's why she was smiling, because she was trying to make sure there was no spinach in her teeth or show people there was no spinach in her teeth. She's coming in hot on this second video. It says the F word on it. Josh, stand by.
Okay.
Stand by.
And also, I don't work for Vanity Fair. I've never said I work for Vanity Fair, so I don't know what the little psycho saying over there screaming at everyone. And I did actually post that video, and I was like, I hope that in the mess of all this, you still feel yourself. I don't know, suddenly other people on the internet can claim your childhood. If that's the case, please show up and tell me why you think you feel you're so entitled. I'm not an asshole. I'm not drunk. I've been sober for quite some time.
Okay, so now she's saying she's sober. Now she's saying she's sober. I just don't get it. Word salad, Angie says. Yes, word salad. There's a whole class of people, these TikTok people, who talk like this. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know if they're stoned or if their brains are melted or if there's BPD levels of mental illness just bleeding down through their brains and into their throats. I have no idea what's happening. But I don't think anybody else does, unless you can translate. I'm so hesitant to proceed here, but I'll play a little bit more.
I didn't take the money.
Yeah, I got it.
I couldn't even hear the curse word in it, to be honest with you.
It was hard to tell, but it was there.
She said she didn't take her Adderall today, so she something didn't have her S together.
Okay. I don't know.
And she also said she didn't
journalists?
She said she didn't work for Vanity Fair. It said Vanity Fair was the one that pulled her credential.
Yeah, she had an offer for a personal, I don't know how they rephrase it. She had an article that she was going to do for Vanity Fair, but she wasn't an employee under Vanity Fair, and that's how she worked her way in there.
She was connected enough that they could decide whether or not she was going to be representing them in the courtroom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do we? Yeah, because they pulled the plug on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not ours, but we're pulling the plug and she's not there anymore. I mean, when I see these kind of things, I go, how do we go from extra and all the 40s reporters and the journalists over the years and the respected talents all over broadcast media for so long to this person is writing for an outlet like Vanity Fair. I don't know how that person communicates anything to anybody. But there we go. We'll get into a couple other things on this case, and we'll work those into jury duty. I still have to get to the autistic son at the zoo, which I know I teased earlier, and it just sounds like, why is he talking about an autistic person going to the zoo?
Fork found in kitchen.
It's going to make sense. It will make sense. We'll work this in just a bit here. That plus jury duty coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeart Advertising.
Chad, am I alone on this? Could you understand a word this person was saying? Could you understand her or no? No is you're with me. No is you're with me. Adderall. You don't know. The spinach in my teeth is not going to go X's and Y's. What the fuck are you talking about? What? Just want to grab that person by the shoulders. What are you saying? What are you saying right now? Learn to communicate. This is dragging something out in me. Ryan says, Autistic Zoo sounds like a good novel. I'd read it. I think that lady triggered me. Consider me triggered. I think she triggered me. Skull Mike exclusive for the break, folks, on YouTube, Twitch, and TNJ chat. Meta has agreed to pay up to $16.68 billion. The tech company will pay a maximum of $16.68 billion, reaching a settlement with 29 U.S. states to resolve a court case related to child safety on Facebook and Instagram. This will likely lead to changes on both platforms and how they handle kids. It was basically, nobody will have the balls to tell you this for whatever reason. It was basically a shakedown. All the states wanted to take the tech money from Facebook and Instagram, and they had to come up with a creative way to get their hands on a couple bill from the tech companies. The tech companies just got a bunch of tariff money back, so they're probably going to be just fine. But the states wanted some of the tech dollars. So they sued Facebook and Instagram under the guise of this is some child safety thing on these platforms, which is a legit concern, but that's not really why they were doing it. They were doing it for the money. 29 states have settled $16 billion from Facebook and Meta. Give me your thoughts on it. Also, Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham, won the Republican nomination to fill the Senate vacancy created by Lindsey Graham's death. Graham, 62, will be heavily favored against Democrat Annie Andrews in November. Tough seat for Democrats. Democrats out there. They have not won a U.S. Senate election in South Carolina since 1998. Hot damn. 1998, last time they won a Senate seat in that state. Darlene, foreign policy really ain't my thing, Graham. Folks who don't know, she was in the debate for the Senate seat, and they asked her some questions about foreign policy, and she's like, shucks, I don't know. Foreign policy is really not my thing. And then afterwards she goes, sorry about that. I apologize. I'm gonna read up a little bit on this issue. Foreign policy is really not my thing. Senators acting on behalf of states do have a say on international affairs. So, whereas asking your local school board rep what their position is on the one state solution, or how they feel about Russia and Ukraine, or if they've properly cried enough tears over the Palestinian kids who have been bombed by Israel, doesn't make a lot of sense. A senator should probably know what's going on in the world. I'll tell you when I get there. Yeah. Yeah, she's already there, right? Yeah. I'll tell you when I get there, she says from the Senate. All right, we're coming back. Here we go. Jury duty.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee, a video game, That's 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to BeBigNow.org.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
Documenting and contributing to the decline in American culture. This
Final hour of the show. In the final hour of the show, I got Trump talking about Dolly Parton. We'll see what he said. I want to talk about Coyote versus Acme because I don't know. After Sealand was mentioning yesterday, this movie that was going to be canned, this Coyote versus Acme movie, now the actual reviews are coming in. And the reviews are so good that I don't know whether I should take them seriously, or I don't know if it's one of these things where people thought they weren't going to get this movie and they're overexcited about it because they did, or that people thought they weren't going to be able to see this movie and now they want to say it was so great as like a shot at the company that was trying to sell it off for a tax write-off and not release it.
Why would you be disingenuous about that? Why would you not just go, oh, yeah, I watched the movie and they were totally right the first time. They should have just shelved it.
Reviewers can be political. Reviewers can do things like that. These are the reviewers so far, like for published outlets and stuff. I don't really care about what reviewers say about movies. I care about the audience score personally. That's what I want. But the critics have rated this at 96%.
Ooh.
Coyote versus Acme. You know, like, could it be that they're so out of touch that they said this movie is a disaster, nobody's ever going to want to see this, this is a piece of crap, let's bench it, shelve it, and use it as a tax write-off? And then when people actually saw it, they thought the exact opposite. They 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's crazy. Somebody from The Observer in the UK says, this is exactly the breath of fresh air, or perhaps the bundle of cartoon dynamite that family audiences need right now. Donald Clark of the Irish Times on Coyote versus Acme. One can hardly imagine a more satisfactory tribute to one of the greatest comic cohorts in American culture. Tim Roby of the Daily Telegraph. While the novelty factor wears off after a while, what Dave Green's film gets bang on is reconsidering the eternal enmity between the coyote and roadrunner as a form of a love story, a game of endless pursuit. Catch me if you can. I mean,
eternal enmity. Man, some of these people, they just feel like they need to put words in there that show people that they're above you.
Yeah, right.
Eternal enmity.
A winsome, silly homage to one of animation's biggest losers. Linda Mark says, Coyote versus Acme is smarter and warmer than its premise suggests and well worth the 3-year wait. Simply put, this is absolutely delightful from start to finish, she says. There's a lot of people who reviewed this and they said it's just amazing. It's stunning. And I wonder, is this a reaction to the industry trying to shelve the movie? Is it really actually that good? And the industry was so stupid that they didn't know they had a hit on their hands? I don't know. It kind of makes me want to see it, actually.
It sounds good. I like the premise of it. Like, I really liked the idea of doing another, like, live action and animated movie a la Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Although I would prefer the grittier side, where which Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. Like, that was a cartoon movie that was definitely not for kids. Oh, and this is rated PG. And it's got some good names in it. Will Forte plays the struggling lawyer that takes up Wile E. Coyote's case.
He's great.
I believe John Cena's role is he's the lawyer for Acme.
Okay, all right. So he's opposing counsel?
Yeah. The judge is Luis Guzman. Just they're funny people in it, and
it's pretty stacked.
It sounds like they've done a good job according to the early reviews.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be at the box office this weekend. Will it be a hit? We'll find out. Right now, let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, you can reach out to the attorney that's going to help you out, fight those greedy insurance companies. Screw them. You pay them all the time. You throw your money into a well with this car insurance you have. After you get into an accident, it's time that they help you out because you're in need. You got to worry about yourself, your family, your future. JustCallMo.com or 800-CALL-MO. All right, what else do we have here? Anything else of note on the Lindsay Clancy front? Somebody said, sorry, but making Lindsay Clancy the face of postpartum mental health to raise awareness was obviously going to end with somebody hogtie these women. Maybe next time don't pick somebody who sent her husband out on an errand so she could speed run executing her entire family, says this particular woman over on X.com. Meanwhile, Michael Tracy, the online journalist, he says the prosecution has had 3.5 years to investigate the Lindsay Clancy case, and they've not produced a single person anywhere who will say one negative thing about Lindsay. Everyone has attested that she was a perfectly normal, well-adjusted, and caring mother before a sudden onset of extreme psychosis tragically warped her cognition. But, quote, men online, unquote, and a small subset of women simply do not care about the evidence in this case because they somehow just know emotionally that Lindsay is fundamentally and irredeemably evil and secretly hated her own children, and everybody she ever encountered in her entire life was apparently just oblivious that they were harboring a sadistic, murderous maniac, this person says. So we'll see what everybody predicts over on thenewsjunkie.com as that case is headed to closing arguments. That is going to be, I think, tomorrow. I think that's going to be tomorrow. And we'll keep an eye on the verdict as well. And if it happens during the show, obviously, we'll take that live so we can bring it to you when that does occur. Keep in mind, the jury has had, 4 weeks that they've been listening to this a very dark story. 4 weeks of trial and
you would think one would need a vacation after that.
Oh, God. 4 weeks of being inundated with that misery is a lot, and I don't think that they'll head back to the jury room and deliberate for 5 seconds. There's 4 or 5 weeks of stuff to go over, so I think it'll possibly take them a while. I have this. There's now an investigation underway about this autistic kid who went to the zoo, as Josh said, fork found in kitchen. So they're all over the place. They're wandering everywhere in the zoo. I like zoos. Coincidence?
I bet you do.
A child sneaked into the zoo and started chasing a bird with a stick, causing another bird, I guess, in the exhibit to come after him. And people were saying his mother encouraged him. Now, I don't know about his mother encouraging him. I could see some woman who's sitting here watching. And when they say into the exhibit, it's it's a small fenced-in area. Josh, stay by that dump button again, because I don't know if somebody curses here.
Oh, boy.
Why not, right? Here we go. All right. They're saying, you kidding me? I'm going to mute it. This bird in the exhibit, the autistic kid is chasing it around with a stick. And the bird can't really fly away all the way. And the bird's like, what the hell? And another bird comes to back it up, taking on the autistic kid. And the bird gangs up on him. And then the mom jumps in. So they're saying that the mom didn't do anything. The mom jumps in and saves a moment. What's the gorilla?
Harambe.
A Harambe moment from happening here. The mom jumps into the exhibit and pulls the son out of there, having him climb up.
Shooting the birds for this.
Maybe not. We don't know. But yeah, the birds ganged up on the autistic kid that came into their enclosure at the zoo. And then the mom, I believe, picks him up.
The birds
are attacking him. The bird is it's got a big beak on it, whatever this thing is. An African savanna? Look those up. What is that? African savanna bird? They went after it. And they didn't go after the mom, strangely enough. Only after the autistic kid that went in there. They helped her out of this exhibit. But this kid was chasing the birds around with a stick, trying to attack them. And now they're looking into the situation. The Milwaukee County Zoo is responding after a child got into an animal exhibit. Did we figure out what an African savanna is? A bird?
I'm seeing that the African savanna is like the home to a bunch of birds. Like there's 1,500 bird species.
It's not called an African savanna. What's the name? What type of bird is it? Maybe we can find out.
I'm looking.
Look up Milwaukee County Zoo because that's where this all went down. And this time they jumped right into the damn the enclosure, the exhibit where they had this bird, and the birds ganged up on this kid. So yeah,
it does say staff activated emergency protocols. I don't know what exactly the emergency protocol was.
Yeah.
It was the African Savanna Yard. So it was an area where they probably grouped a lot of birds or just animals in general that would be found in the African savanna.
It's a weird bird, though. Hold on. Here's a report on this from WISN to round us out here in jury duty. This is one of their reporters who was out on the scene.
Posted to social media shows a young child entering this exhibit here at the Milwaukee County Zoo on Monday. Inside this exhibit are animals like vultures, hornbills, cranes, and other birds and gazelles. Zoo officials tell me that the child was only in the exhibit for a few minutes before a family member also entered the exhibit and safely helped that child out. Bystanders were watching the entire thing, and an emergency protocol was issued. This ladder right here is the one that
climb down it, I dare you,
to help that young child out of the exhibit. The zoo tells me that the child and the animals were all unharmed after this situation, but it is still concerning. I did ask them how this was able to happen. They said that the incident is under investigation, and those answers are not clear yet.
Okay, I did see a sign right there that said Cinereus vulture? I don't know if that's a thing. Cinereus vulture, I think, might be the bird because it looks like the picture of the bird. And the one vulture was scared running away, but when that second vulture came along to back him up, whoa, they were on the attack.
I think that's a sign for a different bird.
Is it?
Yeah, because when I looked it up, it doesn't look like those birds.
It doesn't? What's the bird that you said it is, Josh?
Chatters are saying hornbill.
Hornbill? Hornbill bird. It is. Yeah, they're right. It's a hornbill, which is a very exotic looking bird, just a wild one. This is it.
That definitely is.
Yeah. It's a hornbill, crazy looking thing with a huge beak on it that was trying to get at this damn kid. He's lucky he didn't get injured worse, or somebody didn't get harambeed in this. But
the family released a kind of long ass statement. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the part that I found funny was like, first, we want to thank the zoo's security staff, particularly Jeff, for their prompt and professional help.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, Jeff in particular getting the shout out there. Quick break. When we come back, we'll kick into the Power Hour on the show. Lots to get to, including Trump and his reaction to Dolly Parton. I'll play it for you. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Taste Central Florida, Orlando's premier culinary event this Friday at the Orlando World Center Marriott. Join.
Hey, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes. Got some really good stuff coming up in the final hour of the show. Let me follow up on something I ranted about during a break, I believe, last week, possibly, maybe early this week. I talked about how ICE had apprehended this guy, Luis Aviles, 48 years old. He was trying to leave his house to take his car to the mechanic, and he was a handyman in Key West. And ICE grabbed him, and it turned out he'd been in the United States illegally for 19 years. And ICE was in the process of deporting him. Sayonara, adios, muchacho. They were going to get rid of this guy. And I said, this is insanity. This person is as assimilated as it gets, which should be our biggest thing when it comes to immigrants coming into our country. Our country, the United States of America, allowing other immigrants in is not something we should just do by default. We should make sure that people are assimilating to our culture. I don't want a whole bunch of people who want women covered up head to toe and hijabs and niqabs taking over cities where they change things fundamentally to their way of life instead of the American way of life. I want people who fucking assimilate in this country. And it's why I've told you, some of the people I've seen, Mexicans, people from South and Central America, some of them assimilate better than, and turn into Americans better than Americans do. And I said, how can you assimilate more? This guy had a fucking, like a pro-America shirt on. He's been in the Keys for 19 years, eking out a living. And his son, through whatever, ended up in the U.S. Navy. His son was enlisted and on the USS Lincoln, right? Fighting for this country. And I'm like, y'all, I'm down with getting the criminals, people who have arrest records after illegally arriving in this country. I'm down with rounding up all those people. Half of Minnesota can go. I really don't care. I don't want these people who just want to make their own culture within the United States of America to just be here because nice. I want people who appreciate America and who assimilate into our culture. This guy's so assimilated and so patriotic. He's got American flags up everywhere, and his son enlisted in the U.S. military. The father of a U.S. Navy sailor who has been deployed in the Middle East for a record-breaking 9 months was released from immigration detention, according to his family. He was released. DHS didn't offer any comment on Monday or Tuesday to clarify why Luis Alvarez was released. They said it is incredibly rare for ICE to do this. I don't know if they're listening. I don't know if they're tuned in. If somebody with some connection to power has a big enough brain to hang out with us here on the show every day, but somebody came to the right mindset and they let him go. And I'm 10 toes down on that was the right decision here. Did he come over illegally 19 years ago? Yes. Should there be a way for this guy to zip that up, make it legal, and pay some fees and some extra burden be hefted onto him for 19 years ago coming into this country illegally? Yes. But if he's an American citizen, looks more American than half the people I know, cares more about America than half the people I know, believes in America more than half the people I know, his son goes off to fight for the United States of America more than almost all the people I know. That is a level of patriotism. And then ICE rounds him up because of him coming into the country illegally 19 years ago. They did the right thing. They let him go. I think it's the right thing. Meanwhile, the USS Abraham Lincoln also getting a break, heading to Thailand after 250 days. A record time at sea for the war in Iran. Ben says, should he have become a citizen already? Yes. That news junkie reach is strong. I wish it was because of that. You know what I mean? I just think it's obvious. Let's trade this guy for one of those blue-haired idiots. Yes, unironically, yes. 100% yes. Yes. What does it mean to be an American? Think about that at its core. And some of these people that piss on this country and hate this country, yet soak up all the benefits of it, some of these people who are hell-bent on ruining it, why on earth would we want to get rid of these people who are patriots, even if they only got here 19 years ago, these people who are Americans in every way, shape, or form, much more so than some of the people who hate this country? Why would we want to get rid of those people? Why would we want to get rid of Miguel because he's been in the Keys for 19 years, as opposed to somebody who's like, I hate the U.S., I burn the flag, I piss on America, I have zero patriotism. Are you kidding me? What are we doing? So we end up with a country of people who are technically born in America, but they hate the country, and then people who are coming into the country 19 years ago, They can't be in this country anymore? We're literally deporting patriots. Good on ICE. Good decision. 100% support it. Let them go. Go after the pedos. Go after the people who are engaging in violent crime. Go after the people who actually are bringing a negative outcome to other Americans. All right? That's what I think people want. The Power Hour is incoming, though. I got some more dispatches to work in. We're only at 19, which is pretty good. 19 on the board right now. I'm going to shout out everybody who's gifted on the air on the way out. For right now, you should know. Jan Pin, Meep, Tom Tom, CB Twisted, Tanya, Rick. Thank you. Everybody else, go subscribe or gift some subs over at thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that gift icon. Here we go.
You can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the...
The Power Hour. A couple of things of note. I have to tell you, I may or may not had a couple of shots in me when I came up with this idea last night, but it's here. It's here regardless. Folks, thanks for all your support, as always. The best way to support the show is to support our advertisers. If you hear us actually saying the words called a live read, support those companies. And we really rely on you to either gift subscriptions or subscribe to a premium account for as little as $2.99 a month. That's not a lot of money for you to support the show. We get 10, 20,000 people to do that. We're free. You know, we can do whatever we want over here. We don't need a big corporation behind us. So thanks to everybody who's doing that and who's supporting that goal and fighting against the suits by doing so over at thenewsjunkie.com. But one of the things that a premium subscription unlocks for you is secret shows, our uncensored weekly shows. And I said we should do a Dolly Parton Smackdown this week for secret shows. And Dolly Parton, what a business lady. My God. She had so many different companies and products galore at the grocery store. I said, let's get a whole bunch of these Dolly Parton products and let's put them head to head for the Dolly Parton Smackdown. But we have to ramp it up a little bit, so we're all going to dress like Dolly Parton for the actual show.
Oh, wait, we're all dressing like Dolly Parton?
Well, I got the wigs. I got a whole...
got boobies.
I don't know about the boobies. Then Courtney was like, you guys got to do the fake boobs. And I go, look, there's people who don't like me. And they're going to tweet this photograph of me until the end of the world. Like, I still have a photograph of me dressed up as Carol Baskin for Halloween one time that people will try to dunk on me with. Like, I'll be like, here's what I think about this. It'll be like, this you, bro? And it's me in a Carol Baskin getup, right? But
bitch.
That bitch Carol Baskin. But we have to pay tribute to Dolly Parton because she's amazing. And we got to do it in style, uncensored on secret shows. But then the real mistake that I made was I said, we'll do a challenge on secret shows tomorrow night, streaming live at 8 p.m. for subscribers. And whoever loses the challenge has to wear the Dolly Parton getup for the entire Friday stream. So now it's not just
wait. Did
subscribers
I miss a couple
only.
I thought it was just a wig.
No, this is on there.
I was. Hold on.
It's a whole thing now.
I had you pick meals. We got all kinds of stuff. I've spent money on this.
I don't know about the boobs. They're saying do the boobs. The boobs are not included yet, but we're just kind of we've got a Dolly Parton wig that we're each going to wear, and then maybe we'll lean into it a little bit. And we didn't mention like dressing up like Dolly Parton. If you're searching for that in the text thread,
it just says wig.
But we'll lean into it a little bit. And the loser of the challenge has to be Dolly Parton.
0 rhinestones at home, guys. 0 rhinestones.
I'm shopping for rhinestones right now.
I lose every challenge like this. I do not want to be on Friday on this show in a Dolly Parton getup for the show. I don't want to do that. I'll be forever haunted by that.
I tell you, I'm looking up fake boobs on Amazon. Kind of expensive.
Are they? How much?
The good ones are like $80 to $100.
I can see what's on your screen right now, and I wish you were in this room and somebody was behind you. Like,
is it just an Amazon? Is it Amazon?
Yeah, but it's it's boob like. You can tell what's going on. Those are nipples. I see nipples now. Oh my! Oh, that one goes around the shoulder and has
it's
nipples.
Like a bra.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I look up something in here. And then Brandon Kravitz from the sports station will be in the booth behind me, and he never turns on the light, so I don't know he's in there. And I'll tell, oh gosh, don't look at my screen, Kravitz. It's totally show related.
Why is he looking at a whole gallery of fake women's breasts that he could be wearing here? What's happening?
It's really simple to explain, actually.
For our subscribers,
do they need nipples?
for our subscribers, we're going to have the Dolly Parton Smackdown tomorrow, 8 p.m. is when we live stream it. It'll be live on demand for everybody on Friday after the show. But we'll do a Smackdown of all of Dolly Parton's best stuff to see which one's the best. And then we're going to have a challenge, a battle between us. And the loser of that will have to wear the Dolly Parton outfit for the entire stream on Friday, which is kind of brutal. But I think it's worthwhile. So you'll see on Friday on the stream exactly how bad that went.
What did you search, Josh? Did you say fake boobs or did you type breasts?
I just typed fake boobs.
All right. Well,
are you getting excited about it over there in your booth?
No, I thought it was. I wanted to see if he was going to be medical about it or just like fake boobies.
All right. Well, we'll see how this all goes right now. Let's do the Power Hour.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
sometimes you abort your child at 8 years old.
It's time for the Power Hour on the News Junkie.
Well,
why would you say that?
I don't know, Josh. I don't know. Here's Trump talking about Dolly Parton's death. Here he is. His first comments on the record about Dolly Parton dying.
We found out that Dolly Parton passed away, and you did something, and I actually wrote this in my diary last night before I heard what you did. I said, I feel like she's kind of...
He's talking to the press. I put this in my diary about you.
Oh,
Glenn Beck. No, I didn't even know Glenn Beck was still out there. I put this in my diary about you.
I definitely didn't know he had a diary.
You know, like, I feel about her the way I felt about Queen Elizabeth. She was just such class. And I felt like we should lower our flags. And for the first time in history, you said we should lower our flags, and you declared that our flag should be at half staff. That's never been done before. Why'd you do it for her?
Is that was never done for an entertainer before? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because never.
We've done this, lowering, but as I understand it, I've heard that from a couple of people. I'm a little surprised, but she was unique. I mean,
is he right? Because this is the same thing that person was saying earlier. Didn't we? Am I making this up? I thought we did this for Charlie Kirk.
He said an entertainer. He said never
an
been
entertainer.
Done,
Okay, all
and
right.
And it also, there are probably more localized deaths where they would have lowered the flags for somebody in one particular state.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones where they've done it nationwide and that the president has decided that it should be done, I think are a lot less.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Hold on. Maybe
amazing. And to lose her, it's like you lose a member of the family. We all knew her so well. I knew her a little bit. She wasn't a very political person. She really liked me, I will tell you. But she also wanted to stay very, she was of the opinion, the 50% who needs to lose. I don't think it's 50.
I think Trump realized there after saying she wasn't very political. He's like, she's dead. I could say that she told me anything. And then Trump goes, she was a huge fan. She loved me. oh boy. So he could say anything in that moment. And he says she liked him.
It's probably 20% of the fans, okay, not 50. But she was a great person, and she was just a nice person. You know, I liked her a lot.
Staffed nationwide for a private citizen, Martin Luther King Jr., that was Lyndon Johnson. Rosa Parks, that was President George W. Bush. Billy Graham, Charlie Cook, Dolly Parton was all President Trump. A couple others. I think the closest, he said this was the first entertainer.
That's what he said, yeah.
Bob Hope.
That's an entertainer.
Yeah, Bob Hope was an entertainer. George W. Bush issued a proclamation ordering flags nationwide at federal facilities to have staff on the day of Hope's interment.
All right.
Also, Neil Armstrong. That one makes a whole lot of sense.
He's entertaining.
That one makes a boatload of sense.
Hold on one sec. I wanted to share something with you here very quickly. This is maybe a good time to do this. I am not a fan of, nor do I watch Candace Owens or any of her stuff at all. But there's some accounts that I've seen that have been chronicling.
Tell me she's not telling people Dolly Parton had a penis.
Well, they've been chronicling her missteps. This is a YouTuber lady who's like right on the right wing side. She was like Charlie Kirk's friend, but then somehow believed Erica Kirk killed Charlie Kirk.
And also Israel.
And Israel, yeah. Israel everything. Israel's the answer to everything. And she has said a lot of things, like little verbal slip-ups. Here's an example. This is one that we played on the show, but this is just be an example here.
The elite of the Mormon culture, the cream of the pie, they get introduced to one another.
Okay, all right,
I forgot about this one.
That was one of the early ones. The cream of the pie, okay? She said the elite, the cream of the pie, which is not right.
The elite of the Mormon culture, the cream of the pie, they get introduced to
all right, so that was
because
one. We saw that.
The crust is not elite, but the cream itself.
The cream of the pie, yeah. And then there was this other new one that somebody put out there right here.
And it's hard to put that genie back in the Bible because stealing that is emotional.
I'm a genie in a Bible, baby.
So we got the cream of the pie. Put the genie back in the Bible. And then the reason why I bring this up is because somebody made this new compilation of Candace Owens trying to say bureaucracy. All right, you ready?
No.
All right, there she goes. She's trying to say bureaucracy.
Oh, these women, they love democracy. No, they love a bureaucracy, okay? It's become a bureaucracy. There's just a bunch of bureaucrats in D.C. that are running everything. That was a very scary time where we realized just how bureaucratic our country had become.
That was bad. Just how bureaucratic.
The first one sounded like she was rebranding Barack Obama's own version of democracy.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy, as it were.
I don't think she could say bureaucracy. I don't know if she's able to.
Very scary time where we realized just how bureaucratic our country had become. Politicians and to the bureaucrats who accept money during a cocktail party among bureaucrats. And we're going to figure out how all of these bureaucrats are just wasting tax dollars, people to sign in laws, creating all of these bureaucrats, these bureaucratic organizations.
Those are ones that live in specific neighborhoods. Yeah.
It sounds like they go underground. Honestly, bureaucrats I've not said it that way in my time.
Is it the UR that's tripping her up? Like, are there other words? Can she say purified?
I don't know.
Purified?
Cream of the pie. I don't know. I have no idea. But she's been tripping up on that word, I guess.
Now that genie is out of the Bible, I think I'm watching.
I've never heard that before. But you can't put that genie back in the Bible.
It's hard to put that genie back in the Bible because stealing that is emotional.
I love it. Every once in a while,
she looked like she was talking to somebody. Did the person smirk? Did they say anything?
No, I think she said it. Every once in a while, I will say something wrong and go to break, and then Sealam will be smirking. I'll be like, "What did I say? What did I screw up?" And he'll tell you said this instead of this. Okay.
And sometimes I don't tell you. Sometimes I just let it slide.
But I've not done that. I have not done that.
If you were saying bureaucracy, we would have let you know that already.
It's the Barack. Josh is right, though. It does sound like maybe she was trying to take a shot at Barack Obama.
Bureaucracy.
The bureaucracy. And then over and over and over, she does it again and again and again. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do our grab bag segment. I got a ton of different clips to work in and stories to pop in on the show here as the Power Hour rolls on. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Stand by, folks. Quick live read. And then we're going to talk about what the hell is happening with the stream. Are we live? Yes, if we're live. F if we're dead. I see the numbers like dropping and rebounding and dropping. Are we live? Yeah? Are we dead? Are we dead? What happened, everybody? Stand by.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Here you go. There's a company called Mills Air. They're going to help you out with your air conditioner. Simple as that. That's the pitch I have for you. It's a company that is a real, solid, great, locally owned and operated, family owned and operated company. It's a company that is going to support you in your times of trouble when your AC isn't working. We lean on air conditioning here in the United States of America. We like it. We need it. We rely on it. You deserve to be comfortable. You work all day long. If it ain't working, if it's not blowing cold, get on the phone with Mills Air. That's what people say. Get on the phone with Mills Air. People have been doing that since 1992, 34 years and running. They are a Carrier, factory, authorized dealer. They can help you out if you need a new AC. If it's time, they can help you out over at Mills Air. Just give them a call to get the process started. Or give them a call and find out about a problem before it develops with their preventative maintenance. 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Need a new roof or windows? Visit
I'm back, baby. All right, so we're good? What was happening? Did YouTube drop out, or did Twitch drop out, or what happened? All of a sudden, the live viewers went, woo! It went way down. Kevin, it's probably your gifts like that. The algo is seeing those gifts in Mega Chat and going, that is a naked woman that Kevin has just posted. That's probably what's getting us flagged. Kevin, what are you doing? That's got to be it. Twist users are still there? Did I call you Twist? I meant Twitch. You bunch of cream pies. Capitol Police have arrested a man, everybody. I think AT&T had a brief outage. Really? It could have been. I would get an alert on that because we'd be on backup. Okay, excellent. I've got more. Stand by. Let me pull this up. And I'm going to tell you what Capitol Police have just done. I got two great additions for our grab bag segment. Okay, we'll hold that. Okay, here we go. So, Capitol Police have arrested a California man with a guillotine near the U.S. Supreme Court. Yes, indeedly do. As Ned Flanders would say. A Southern California man was in Washington, D.C., and authorities found a guillotine in the bed of his pickup truck. The pickup truck was illegally parked by Philan Tom Duile of Julian, a small town in the Cuyamaca Mountains, 60 miles northeast of San Diego. That sounded like the least American sentence I've said in a while. Officials said Lee had driven the guillotine from California to Washington, D.C. Lee was arrested for carrying a dangerous weapon and for a rarely used charge of possessing a guillotine. Wow. Busted at the Capitol. I wonder if it was like a fully functioning guillotine. Wonder if that was the real deal. I wonder if she responded to my unban request. Who? I'm sad I missed whatever y'all did to that woman. What woman? What are you talking about? Did Twitch already leave and raid somebody's stream who was smashing a bunch of dishes? What's happening? We're not done yet. The power hour is still on here. We've got 30 minutes. We raided a Dolly hater who banned us all. And how did you... Oh, you raided this woman yesterday on the stream and then she hated you? And then she got banned? Because she hated Dolly Parton? Okay. Well, who are you going to raid today, for God's sake? Yikes. Wall Street Journal in some hot water after the opinion editor Paul Giggett defended the use of AI to write a widely published and promoted op-ed. They said AI is a fact of life. Nobody can doubt that the op-ed is this guy's genuine opinion. A billionaire wrote a widely read Wall Street Journal op-ed and admitted he used AI to create the opinion editorial that was in one of the nation's biggest papers. Get used to it. Gonna happen a lot more. Gonna happen more. All right, here we go. We're coming back.
The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now, all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down.
As we get closer to week 1.
It's crazy, and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live, local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
Appreciate you. Learn more about the show and even go put your prediction in on what the verdict will be in the Clancy case, which is the Lindsay Clancy case, which is going to the jury after closing arguments, probably tomorrow or the next day. Once it goes to the jury, you can't get a prediction in. You can get it in now. You can change it until we lock it, but the predictions are open. You could say right now, not guilty. Maybe something changes your mind before the jury gets the case and it's off to deliberation. So right now is the time to do it. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and get your prediction in. Let's do a pick-a-side on this. This is a small pick-a-side. When I started doing pick-a-sides, there was just this unbelievable sea of pick-a-side content, one after another after another. I would see these all over the place. And then they completely dried up. And I will continue to find them for the show. But this could work that way. So let's do it with this story about a homeowner in Florida. Yeah. This is in Leesburg, Florida. And I'm really interested in the legal ramifications of this. A Florida homeowner shot and killed a woman who allegedly attempted to enter his home. Now, I know what you're saying. You're like, well, pick a side here. I'm going to pick the side of the person who is protecting their home. Hang on. Go with me here.
Okay.
All right. The shooting happened about 5 a.m. in Leesburg, Florida. According to the Leesburg Police Department, the homeowner says some woman showed up at my house, and we don't know if they knew each other. We don't know if there's some sort of relationship between them. We only know that a woman showed up at this guy's house right before 5 a.m. in the morning. So picture that. It's a little bit dark, maybe. She's showing up at this house. Unclear what their relationship is. He goes, get out of here. Leave my property. And she says, no. And he goes, I have a gun. All right? I got a gun. Don't make me use it. The homeowner told police he fired his handgun through the door. Hold on. After the woman continued to try to enter his home. So this is why I brought this in as a pick-a-side. We've had stories before where somebody's shot another person through their own front door. You cannot do that. This person has to be making entry into your house in most states for you to be able to defend yourself. You can't just go wild, wild west and be like, well, there we go. It's on my property. You can't do that. But you can if somebody is threatening you, you feel like your life is in danger, and they're going into your house. There was one lady, I think it was The Worst Neighbor Ever, the documentary was about her, and she shot this poor woman through the front door of her house and killed her. And she was charged with murder, and I believe convicted in that case. So we know you can't shoot through the door, but hold on. The homeowner told police he fired his handgun through the door after the woman continued to try to enter his home. The bullet then shattered a window. All right, so the window is now broken out. The woman then allegedly reached through the broken window and attempted to open the door from the inside. When she did this, the homeowner fired his gun for a second time, which struck the woman, and she died. Who is in the right and who is in the wrong here?
How big was this window?
I don't know, but it said she reached through it.
It's a pretty sizable window.
He fired the first shot off, and I think he would have been possibly guilty of murder if he would have shot her through the door. But then he shoots through the door and doesn't hit her, and then the window breaks, and then she uses the broken window to get her hand physically in his house and is now trying to open the door from the inside. She's not in, but she's trying to open the door to get in from the outside of the broken window.
Could this be a rare legal situation in which you killed a person but could be charged with attempted murder?
Maybe.
Because I agree with you. I think the initial shot that broke the window was unlawful. And it looks like the whole, it's one of those grid of 3/3 windows, long windows.
Oh, you can see the actual door? Can you send that to me?
Yeah, look up. I'll send it to you. But it looks like 2 of the windows are broken and the rest of it's shattered. So whatever the shot was that did the breaking of the window. Hang on, I can't see it.
The Fox 35 story?
Yes, that's it.
All right, I got it. Okay. So yes, so it's a traditional door where it's a wooden door, but it has all the glass panels. And then when he shot at her through the door, which Sealand I think is saying like that might be attempted murder. You can't shoot through the door.
Well, because the person who has shot through the door has been guilty of murder or at least manslaughter in previous cases.
Right.
And in this case, I think the initial shot was unlawful, but now the initial shot gave her better entry to the door, at which point he killed her. So either you argue that she never would have been able to reach in the door had he not shot.
Yes.
And he might still be on the line for that. Or you say, hey, the shot that killed her was lawful because she was reaching in and trying to open the door. However, the initial shot could be attempted murder at the very most, I think, or they charge him with something that they think can stick, like brandishing a firearm, shooting a firearm in a neighborhood, so something that's like a smaller charge that
Yes.
he has a little penalty for.
Well, somebody says, I'm on the ladies' side. Come on, man. Why? The woman was attacking this guy's house. He wanted her to leave. She's trying to get into the house. I think C-Lane's onto something, but hold on. It's illegal to kill somebody through your front door, but he shot through the front door and he didn't actually kill her, which is to your attempted murder argument that you're making there, which is definitely an interesting possibility there. But maybe he could say, like, I was firing off a warning shot or something.
I don't think you're allowed to fire warning shots.
He fires it through the door. I'll get to the report here in just a moment. But then she reaches in right here because the glass that broke out through him shooting through his own door gave her the opportunity to reach inside the house and grab the door handle and then try to let herself in. And that's when he shot her and killed her. Let's get the other details. Here's Fox 35.
Home invasion turns deadly in Leesburg, where police say a woman was shot and killed by a homeowner while trying to break into a house. The shooting happened just after 4:30 this morning in the 1600 block of Crest Avenue. The neighborhood is right off the intersections of State Road 44 and 27. Fox 35's Manny Martinez live there right now. Manny, are charges coming?
Well, that is part of the investigation, Jack. Investigators left about an hour ago. They were here for about 12
Put this guy on 1.5x, man. That is part of the
hours. These broken windows along a side door tell the story. It's here where Leesburg police say a woman was shot and
That's the side door to the house.
It started just before 5 this morning at this home on Crest Avenue. Police say they got a call about a woman trying to break in. The man inside told police he repeatedly told the woman to leave, warning her he was armed and shot through the front door, breaking a window. It's that broken window where police say the woman reached in to try to open the door from the inside. That's when investigators say the homeowner fired again, killing her. Police haven't said what kind of relationship, if any, there was between the man and woman.
Okay, that's such a weird case. I would put this on the list for Moses.
They said she lived in the same neighborhood as the residence she was allegedly trying to enter, but she lived about 2 to 3 blocks away. So it's possible they don't know each other at all. I mean, 2 to 3 blocks away is an eternity in my neighborhood. I don't know those people.
I agree with you. So she's saying that, well, she's not saying anything now. She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But the claim was that she thought she was at her own house, but she wasn't at her own house, which was a couple blocks away.
Because it's the shooter just moved into the home in May, did not know Connolly, and Connolly's roommate said she had been drinking and left her residence upset. So unless she went on a big long walk and came back to the wrong house and she was that drunk, I don't know why you would continue to attempt to enter the house if somebody says, I have a gun, and go away and all that.
And this guy has every right to feel like his life was in danger. This woman who won't leave, who won't go away, who even if he fires off a shot, still is trying to get into his house, then through the broken window, reaches her hand through and is going to open the door. This guy has every right in the world to think he's defending himself, in my opinion. I think that this guy, I think that was a fair defense of his own life.
We were talking about the woman who was in the Netflix documentary, or maybe not Netflix, but the Worst Neighbor Ever or something.
Yeah.
She shot kids through the window or through a door or something. There was another person, I thought, that got in trouble for shooting somebody through a door. And they were like, there's no reasonable... there was no reasonable thought that they would be in that much danger to fire a gun through a door, but once you had gotten through the door, it would have been a different story.
Yeah. Yes. But so a lot of people are pointing out the door thing. I thought we said you can't shoot through the door. People are suggesting that you're not supposed to do that. The point is, the moment the glass is open, she is reaching into the house and grabbing the door handle and now attempting to turn it. That's a different game, man. I think she's good for it. Josh, what do you think on this? What do you...
As it's presented, I think you got to take the guy's side, but I'm curious if reaching through the door like she did actually constitutes his ability to use castle doctrine or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
She's trying to enter his castle.
Because the door wasn't open. Peanut says too many variables. I don't know if there really is.
You can't just go to the judge and go, Your Honor, Too
There's
many variables. Man, you gotta have an actual legal argument here.
Let us know what you think. Pick a side.
I moved to strike the entire case. On what grounds? Too many variables.
Yeah, there's just too many here. Give us your thoughts on this particular pick a side right now. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the final dispatches. There was a bunch of stuff I wanted to get into, but that was interesting to go on that journey. So that's where we go for now. We'll do the final dispatches. I will get in some of the clips I was going to play, the stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes, everybody. We are below our goal. We're only at 19. We need 6 more gifted subs. Maybe you can help us hit the goal today. 1, 2, it all helps. Somebody who's never gifted before, I want to see you go over and hit us up with some support over on thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that gift icon. Help us hit the goal before the end of the show. Time to rate the show. Covered a lot of ground today. We're going to thank everybody on the way out. I don't know if we'll get to that 25 or not. We're at 19. But we're going to thank all of you on the way out. Rate the show 10 out of 10 into the Hall of Fame over here. No notes. 1 out of 10, the Hall of Shame. The saddest corner in the studio. Rate the show out of 10. 9 out of 10, Bible Genies. Okay. 9.1, Drumming Beef Eaters out of 10. Mike says, would have gifted 5, but oh well. What happened? 8, Autistic Seeking Hornbills out of 10. 10 out of 10 says, Mike, we await your rating on YouTube and Twitch. 10 half-staff flags. 10 out of 10 TNJ exclusive celebrity death announcements this week. 10 out of 10 dying 80-year-olds. 9 out of 10 gunshots. A lot of good reviews coming in right now. I got to go get Today I Learned. Keep those coming. Maybe a gifted when I come back. We'll see. Shall see. Maybe not, though. Maybe we don't hit the goal. Maybe I cry. Maybe I die. All of these things are possible. We shall never know. I mean, we'll know if I die. Hey! Carol with the 6 gifted. Carol! Carol, amazing, big, huge support. Carol brings us to the goal of 25 today. Shit show. Thank you for the 3 months. Let's hear it for Carol, everybody. That's amazing. Appreciate you, Carol. Get your tote, Carol. That's right. This could be yours, Carol. I hope you claim this on the way out. Think about putting all your stuff in here, repping the show, and then folding it up and like stashing it away in like some of the back of your seat pocket or something in your vehicle. Love it. Couple of minutes and we're back live. That was actually an interesting pick-a-side. 10 Carols out of 10. Hell yeah. 20 out of 10, but I was driving for much of the show. Carol with a big win at the end. We love her. We appreciate her. A couple of things for you streamers before we wrap it all up here. Okay. Okay. This is done. Okay. There we go. Let's put that here. 99% of the power has been restored in Indiana. All right, just so you know, the power back on after the power went out after the storms. And then Don Lemon and a bunch of retards claimed it was about racism. And then it turned out that the power company wasn't actually racist, which doesn't make much sense. The power company actually was having trouble putting the power back on because people kept shooting at them. They were literally shooting at the power company that was trying to turn the power back on. And also, the trial has been postponed for the stepbrother accused of raping and murdering Anna Kepner. That's the cruise ship murder mystery story. Justice for this guy has been dragged out. And still nothing. Investigation ongoing, as far as I know, in the Hookers in Hopetown, Bahamas situation where the woman fell off the boat. It's still on the radar. Well, mystery no more. Bang said the son is 100% racist. Maybe. I think the hooker will get away with it. Maybe. Sean, I can't gift subs with Google Pay. I can only buy secret shows with Google Pay. I'll investigate, Mike. If I fix that, I expect some gifts tomorrow. I will investigate it, though, just for you, buddy. Okay, thank you for a great show. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about Dolly Parton. Talked about all the reactions. Thank you, Angie, with the gifted subscription. Angie, thank you. We talked about Tim Curry dying. We went through all of the viral news of the day. We talked about Nepal and the shocking flash floods. We got into the Lindsay Clancy trial. We got predictions. We talked about the bureaucracy. We talked about all of it. And we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again here on the show at 11 a.m. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. We'll see you tomorrow on the show. Stay gold.
You up to date? Just download the free iHeartRadio app and search NFL.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Thanks to you, we're helping teachers bring more opportunities, creativity, and learning into their classrooms every day. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, making a real difference for teachers and students. And we're not done yet. Keep listening as we get ready to recognize and reward some truly inspiring educators. Celebrate this year's incredible teachers and the difference they're making at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. Our last story was an interesting one. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that to see what happens. If you missed it, go back on the podcast and all of that good stuff. Surprisingly, most everything worked today, technology-wise, so I love that. Big thanks to everybody who offered us some big support hitting the goal today. Thanks to Angie G with the gifted subscription. Carol with 6. Carol, thank you for all the support. Carol with 6. We really appreciate that. Jam Pen with 2, Meep with 5 gifted subscriptions, Tom with 2, CB Twisted with 6, Tanya with 2, and Rick with 1, all today supporting the show. And because of them, you can go claim one of those premium subscriptions. It's a month of full access to the website, the app, and all the rest. Great job today, Josh.
Thank you.
Just amazing work.
I mean,
in case you missed it, he was also Charles Manson.
That was real Charles.
Charles Manson.
I'm back from the dead, baby.
The Charles Manson you do sounds so wily. Like he
is wily. You ever seen video of him?
Yeah,
Josh has a knack,
man.
Josh has a knack for picking accents that sounds like his voice is going to need a vacation after.
That one is not nearly as hard as RFK Jr.
Yeah.
We have that great job today, C-Lane.
Oh, thank you. I was
bang up job.
There was a guy behind me at the airport the other day who sounded like Josh's RFK Jr. if it was like 30 to 20 years ago RFK Jr. Like wasn't fully at the point where he's at vocally, but on his way there. On his way into that area.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here on the way out. I don't have a lot of time, so let's maybe get in a final dispatch.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Watch your mouth. Parody song, man. Let's see. Let me refresh the dispatch screen. Because eight just came in. So let's see. The pick a side. Funny name. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Happy day.
Hey.
Speaking of the kids stomping through the zoo, trying to beat the heck out of the birds, and crazy ladies trying to open up people's doors. We used to have asylums. I say bring back the asylums. Crazy people go to the asylums. The rest of us get to live a nice, peaceful life. Bring back the asylums.
All right. I don't disagree. You need better marketing, though. You really need better marketing. People aren't going to understand that.
I don't even know that she was that crazy. I think she just had a really bad night, got too drunk, according to her roommate, and now she paid the price, unfortunately.
Do I have enough time for one more?
Sure, quick.
Hey, junkies, about the Clancy chick.
I can speed them up.
Guilty. Just think about it. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to strangle those kids. The last one sat there and watched 2 of his siblings or her siblings, whichever one was last, watch the mother.
We get it. We've gone over that case. The case is interesting. The Lindsay Clancy case, very interesting, but it's also super dark. The details. There's a lot out there. Let's get out of here. How about this? Let's end on a better note than that. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Today I Learned for Wednesday, August 25th, 2026. Today I learned this guy.
I'll be back.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's right. Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had difficulty saying the I'll be back line while filming The Terminator and asked the director, James Cameron, if he could say, I will be back instead. James Cameron steadfastly refused, saying the shot would be taken as many times as he wished so he could nail the line, I'll be back.
I will return.
It's not as good that way, I don't think. And finally, today I learned the guy from this movie.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's right. Tim Curry, R.I.P. Tim Curry, dead at 80 years old. We announced early on while we were trying to pay tribute to Dolly Parton. Tim Curry, 80 years old, never married, had no children, no parents or siblings left. His death would effectively end his family tree, this said. This was from years ago. Family tree dead. I didn't want to end dark, but I did. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. R.I.P. Tim Curry. What a great actor. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Miss any of the show? Get the podcast.